1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Jalen Hurst here for Window Nation. If you're a fan of saving money, listen up.
Right now at Window Nation, save 50% on all window styles, plus 0 interest for 5 years. Hurry, sale ends November 30th. Call Window Nation today to schedule your fast, free, in-home estimate or visit windownation.com.
Don't pay more than you have to for new windows. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
Your 401k goes up and down. That's fine when you're 40, but not when you're 60. Find out how to protect your hard-earned money. Tune in to the Retirement Spectrum with Alan Cohen, Saturdays at 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
This is Dr. Marianne Ritchie. Tune in to Your Radio Doctor every Saturday afternoon at 5 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT for the latest healthcare news and information, because your health is your wealth. That's Your Radio Doctor, Saturdays at 5.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, good Friday, everyone. Big issues, big guests. Bob Brady, much in the news. I think he's down there with the Casey count, the Casey McCormick count. I think the McCosey one still has provisional ballots in the Northeast, but he's with us here, taking a moment on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Bob, welcome back. What's going on with you today?
Well, I want you to know I remember that I owe you dinner. I'm a man of my word.
I know you are. Yeah.
And for your listeners, you bet a cheesesteak and I bet a lobster. So I guess it's going to cost me a lobster dinner.
I'm having the judge of elections here rule on that. We may have to downgrade that. The poor lobster here for this. But anytime,
Whatever.
Bob, maybe an Italian restaurant might be better. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Your choice. You know, my mother's Italian, so that'll be perfect.
I know that. You got the best of both worlds here.
Yep.
So what are you doing today, Bob?
Well, we're looking at the Casey votes. There's 100,000. Actually, there's 100,000 votes that are still outstanding. Provisionals overseas. Some divisions haven't reported, and there's like 20,000 in Philly. Like Pittsburgh's got like 13,000. Montgomery's got like 7,000, and the rest of the state. So it's something that has to be looked at. You know.
Is this the recount at this point?
No, this is our count. This is not a recount yet.
Okay.
Recount will kick in, and that'll be everybody. This is just us looking at numbers. And then on a recount, there'll be McCormick people and the Casey people together, going over it, And,
now, I hear you. Look, you know me a little bit. If it were me, I'd be counting every vote, counting it again and again and again. I mean, I think there is a thing about conceding at a certain point. Absolutely. But, I wouldn't concede in this. I mean, no. I don't think it's mathematically too likely, but I wouldn't concede.
Yeah, but you're right as far as counting every vote, because people come out and vote. They want to make sure that their vote is counted. I mean, come on, that's what we do, But we're getting beat up a little bit in Philadelphia. But let me tell you, we probably did almost the same as in 220. 220 was 60%. Right now we're at about 65%. The total vote in 220 was like 749. We're close to that. We're at 732. But again, it's the economy, stupid. I mean, everybody talked about the border, and they talked about abortion, but the Republicans hit it on the nose. It was the economy, and they kept pushing the economy, as you well know, when people go to the store to buy something and it's more money than it was, that resonates, and that's what happened here. That's why Donald Trump was effective.
I agree with you. I agree with you,
Yeah.
and I wanted to go into a little bit too, Bob, as much as you can. Look, this guy that's going after you from the Harris campaign, he's the guy who told me to pack my bags with Helen Gim. I look at it, he's a two-time loser, first with Gim and then with Harris, and it doesn't surprise me what you've said out there, that somebody like you, that this guy would be disrespectful or not be involved or whatever. He crawls with it, just like the Gim campaign. And sadly, the Harris campaign would have been better served by somebody who might know Philadelphia, might know the way you operate in the Democrat Party here, and been respectful at least.
Well, and don't throw in the fact that he's probably making about $25,000 a month.
Yeah, I mean, Bob, I don't understand it. Look, I understand what you do, and I understand how moderate Democrats have succeeded in the past. I don't understand how guys like this continue to say the policies that the American people don't want, and they're disrespectful, talking down to people, not just Republican voters, but to you in Philadelphia. They think, what does this guy know? Well, you're the guy that produces votes.
Well, the sad part about it, and it's not my ego. Believe me, when I talk about it, I don't really have any much contact with the campaign or whatever. It's the people that I represent. We got ward leaders. We got 3,400 committee people that go out there, and they don't get paid. The little bit of money we give them, if I give them a lousy $100, that's their $240,000. But the little bit of resources we give them, they pay people to work the polls, just like Republicans do, and you should do. Work the polls, knock on doors during election day. Hey, Mr. Giordano, you didn't come out to vote. Please come out to vote. And they're out there like it's not 13 hours. They're out there like maybe like 15 hours because you got to stay. They get our committee people get
Right.
to get and the Republican committee people too. Don't get me wrong. That we get the tables up, we put the chairs out, we find the polling.
Well,
places,
Bob, let me interrupt and ask, what was their objection to street money, whatever you want to call it? What was their objection to it?
They paid their people. They paid volunteers more money than we could pay them. I have no idea. I guess that they got upset because I said that they didn't have any cooperation. We had no cooperation. I had to get signs from other people, from other Congress people that had extras. We couldn't get signs. We couldn't get lawn signs. Toward the end. Now there's a guy by the name of Cullen White down there. All right, he was great. He was fighting for us all the time. Going against the
Yeah,
grain, but
I've been told of him by a mutual friend, John White, who was a city councilman, et cetera. He would understand Philadelphia. So
thank God for him. If it wasn't for him, we would have been really, really in bad shape. But this guy, I don't care about him. Come on.
But Bob, you made the other
I
cardinal
appreciate your
sin. You spoke to it. Look, we know you were a Biden guy versus this crowd. I get that. But you also said, and let's break it down. Look, Josh Shapiro and I clash somewhat, but I respect he's a killer politically. I mean that in the best sense. I got Josh Shapiro ready to come into the game, and I tag in this Walls guy. Right there, that's political malpractice. Pennsylvania would have been really tough to win if Josh Shapiro were in there.
Well, Tim Walz is a friend of mine, so I was a little handcuffed. I served him for 12 years. He's a good guy. But Josh is our favorite son. And you know that? He's articulate. He can get out on the stump. He can not only in Pennsylvania, but it'll be great for Pennsylvania. Without question, I think we win Pennsylvania without.
Now we're going too far. That's a little bit. I think it would have been. Yeah, it would have been. It would have another bet. It would have been really, really tough. I'll say that. Yeah.
Listen, Don. If we're around in 4 years, we can make that bet.
What are you talking about? We're going to be around for another 20 at least. Come on now.
God bless you. Good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. So,
but I appreciate it.
So Bob, where does this end up with you? You're still the Democrat chairman and all going forward. This has caused kind of a national ripple. Yeah.
No, I'm not going no place. Nobody's my guys are. I'm fighting for our guys. I wasn't fighting for Bob Brady. I was fighting for some respect that with the party that we have, that we've been turning out votes forever and ever and ever. With our committee people and our ward leaders, and I was fighting for them. And that guy called us worthless. I mean, that ain't right. It's a guy, like you said, there was little. I don't know how they picked him and then we got our mayor here that he was against our mayor.
No, big time. No, he didn't get where Philadelphia is not Helen Gim. It's Sherelle Parker and Bob Brady. Bob, you said either on air or off air, maybe more off air, Channel 6 last week. We were talking about Joe Bocosi, and you called it. Now, there's a few provisional ballots, but I think it seems pretty certain that Joe Bocosi is going to be the next senator from Northeast Philadelphia. He's only 29 years of age, and this represents he had no Republican Party support. This is a breakthrough. What happened in that race?
The Donald Trump code factor.
Okay.
Donald Trump won every ward that Senate race was in. And look, people win because of code factors too. And he won. And there's whatever they count, it's not going to change that election. This young man's going to be a senator.
Yeah, and I think that's a bit of a breakthrough. The last one is eons ago, right? Is it back to the guy who wanted to secede from Philadelphia, Frank?
Hank Salvatore.
Hank Salvatore, yeah. Yeah.
He was a good guy. He was a friend. They were good people.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Bob, we'll go out anytime that you want, and I appreciate you coming on today. And again, I think you did an unbelievable job here in Philadelphia, given there wasn't a Biden. I don't think VP Harris had much of a connection to Philadelphia, unions, just about anything here. I'm not saying negative, but not connected.
Yeah. And our unions did a great job too. They were out there all the time, but it was just the economy. I mean, people, it was in their pocketbook, and people, believe it or not, vote their pocketbook. And
I would ask you, Bob, if you were in a room with them when Joe Biden was doing this, though, didn't you have a sense, the spending I'm talking? Now, look, when Biden won the presidency, he came in a different Joe Biden. He listened to a bunch of historians and others telling him, you got to go big. You spend $7 trillion. We know what's going to happen. Inflation.
That's beyond me. When you talk about billion, I'm sorry, that's beyond me.
Yeah, but I would say, with all due respect, it's beyond the people that did it. I don't think a Bob Brady would say, you know what, we ought to be causing grocery store prices to be 20% higher.
Bob has some lobster to pay for. He doesn't want to pay $70.
Yeah, that's right. That's all. God, let's get the lobster today. God knows what it's going to be by Monday. Hey, Bob, it's great that they have you on Channel 6, and it's always great to come on. And we loved you at Mulligan's, so we're already planning for Mulligan's this year. We got to get
come
you
back,
there.
Bob.
You got to come back.
I'll be there.
All right,
Bob.
Thank
you so much.
We'll catch
God
up
bless
soon.
you, man. Have a nice holiday when I don't talk to you.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
Stay safe. Stay safe.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bob. Bob Brady here on Talk of If We're Here in 4 years. Oh, my God. Come on now. All right. So your reaction to that. Look, this is a window into Harris, their campaign, and guys like this McPhillips guy. I wonder if that guy's packing his bag. Who is he going to lose for next? It was Harris here.
Stick around,
it was
man.
Helen Gim. Yeah, $25,000 a month for this guy. Oh, my God.
He's like the political equivalent of the Madden curse.
All right, here's how we're going to lose. Give me 25 grand. Come on, Brandon. Come on the show. You heard Bob Brady. You can come on. They're accusing him of everything in the world. You can come on the show. Oh, no. Then you'd be Helen Gim would never return your calls.
Oh, man, that's not
where is Helen Gim?
Yeah, where is Helen Gim?
Exactly. All right, let me give you the side question. We got Jeff Andrew at 12:30. A lot to unpack with him. We have Laura Trump, and we have one of my favorites, Dr. Marty McCary. I think it's at 2, and we're going to talk with him about all this RFK stuff. The great Stephen Colbert even had to address RFK and the food thing. What are they afraid of? Taking a look at these things. And I'm not going to agree with RFK on some of these things. I think he's a nutbag. I'm going to tell you when I think he's a nutbag, but I think it's fine to open up. Here's one little nugget out of the stuff, the smarter people cataloging what happened here in this election. Axios today says several of the better Democrat strategists said, a lot of this started with COVID. We were scolding people. We were calling them names. There was the masking. There was the shutting down schools. But it was the manner in which we attacked people. Did we get some kind of reckoning for what was done to the American people by people like Fauci and a lot of Democrats during COVID? I'm not saying that was the principal thing. I'm just saying it's another one of those layers that made people think about this constant scolding from Democrats, the constant wokeism, the constant, we're the science, you're not. We're college educated, you're not. That type of stuff. I thought that was a pretty good insight. I don't think we've ever fully had a day of reckoning over COVID, but some of it bled into this. Also today, I had to burn the midnight oil. I had to change this several times. My top 11 moments in this election, I put the 11th in to honor the great Jim Kenney, the former mayor, when he jumped into the ring for Harris here in Pennsylvania. Remember they sent him out there and the stuff that he said that day? Right there, we should have known, they're in trouble. Are you sending Jim Kenney out there? Come on. Yeah. Who's he supposed to appeal to?
You're really scratching the bottom there.
They didn't send him to Philadelphia either. They know he can't do anything in Philadelphia. Maybe Jim Kenney will call at some point here. All right. I'll give you the top 11, and we might dispute. I didn't put Elon Musk on here in any moment. Some people egging me on saying, well, when he took over Twitter, yeah, that was before the campaign, though. I get it. I think I got the number one right. And I'll tell you that Scott Presler does appear in this at some point. Not at the very top. Happy to get yours at Dom Show 1210. All right, phone lines are open. That's Bob Brady to kick off the show. Right out of the news. And look, I'm fine with Bob Casey Jr. challenging this. I get the argument. Up to a certain point, that's what President Trump did in 2020. And that was right. Some of it was not. Some of the Giuliani lawsuits were out of bounds. But if I were Bob Casey, I'd be challenging it. Well, I'd be going and counting every vote. So let's use that to say when Republicans do it, it's right too. You ought to. It's your life. These people voted for you. I'm not conceding. It would be very hard for me to I'll admit it. You know, Roe would have to, you got to concede. Get out of here. Not doing it. I get it. I give grace to these people when it's so hard to concede, be it Trump, be it, in this case, Bob Casey Jr. Remember McCormick with the stuff with Dr. Oz, fought it down to the very end, and rightfully so. That's what you do. You fight. Nothing wrong with that on either side. All right, phone lines are 855-839-1210. Side question coming up here on Talk Radio 1210.
This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. You may know me from my book, Money Hacks. You may know me from my radio shows. And you may even know me from some of these commercials. But listen, I'm teaching stuff that people need to learn about money. In fact, my favorite topic is money. So go to investorschooling.com and you will learn things about money that you never even knew existed. We will teach you things about real estate, about the stock market, and about how to use your IRAs properly. Go to investorschooling.com and sign up for a complimentary class this Thursday night at 7 o'clock. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Roofing or siding issues? Don't wait. Call Emmons Roofing and Siding.
We provide comprehensive roofing and siding services with a focus on quality and customer satisfaction. And our warranties ensure peace of mind for you and your family.
Protect your home with the best warranties available in the industry.
Call Emmons at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com.
From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
So last year I had the bright idea to dig up part of my backyard to put in a new patio. Little did I know that underground electrical for most of my neighborhood ran through my backyard. One wrong hit of the shovel and bam, lights went out, my hair turned white, and now I can wirelessly charge my smartphone. You know, they say hindsight is 20/20, but 2/20? That's something completely different. Trust me. Call 811 before you dig. Know what's below and help us hit 50 and 5. 50% less damage to buried utilities in 5 years. For info, visit pa1call.org.
In a world filled with financial information, Citizens can help you make sense of it. So whether you're signing up or hitting snooze on some financial newsletters, scrolling through your socials that all seem to be saying the same thing, or getting together with your neighbors at a cookout to game plan college funds, you're ready to make the most of it. Make sense of your money with Citizens. Learn more at citizensbank.com/made-ready.
Medicare is making important changes in 2025. Independence Blue Cross can help. Our Medicare Advantage plans include premiums as low as $0. dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drug coverage. The deadline to enroll is December 7th. Visit ibxmedicare.com/radio. Independence Blue Cross offers PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Independence Blue Cross PPO, HMO, POS, and HMO Medicare Advantage plans depends on contract renewal.
Hey, Cherry Hill. We know your favorite station is WPHT. Tell your smart speaker, play 1210 WPHT.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. If you're in New Jersey, you should rest easy. Phil Murphy, and we're working on the sound, just said in his news conference, we will fight to the death to keep our Jersey values. Well, you don't know what they are. You're not from Jersey. How about eating pizza the Jersey way? Is that a value you're going to fight King Philip? How about the hair values? The hair looks like it's back, Dan. Now, this was a tell that he was possibly running for something.
Uh-huh.
I just saw the hair. It looks like it's not.
Yeah.
The flopping hair. It's back to the old style. It looks to me like that's it.
He was just on Fox, you're saying?
Yeah, I saw him on Fox a couple
Right,
minutes ago. Maybe Miss Kim is on extended vacation or something. Let's see.
Was it like a press conference he was doing, or was he a guest?
Yeah, it was his breakdown of the 2024 election. And we have Jeff Andrew coming on. We'll talk to him about that. Murphy said we'll fight to the death for Jersey values, for our values. What are those Jersey values as he sees them? All right, well, that leads me
the love of Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
Not pumping your own gas.
Oh, God, that's right. Well, yeah, I'm going to be in the front row. This is so juicy. I got to get to this right now, even though we've got a number of things. Look, Steve Bannon is kind of out of bounds. I could get him on right now. It's not good, though. You can't be doing Steve Bannon right now, I think. But Bannon just said in an interview, and it's not on Alex Jones. I don't know where it is. It doesn't look like it's Fox. What Trump ought to do for the daily press gaggle that all administrations do, put the big media all the way in the back of the room.
Voice.
Okay. Yeah, all the way in the back of the room. And in the front, put the talk radio host and the podcasters. Oh, man. Can you imagine those podcasters that Trump went to in the front row? Or Joe Rogan, by extension. He wouldn't go, but they can put him on, I guess, you know. Can you imagine the questions? Now, people would pay attention.
This? I have the audio.
Yeah. Is this Murphy?
No,
Bannon?
this is Bannon.
Okay, let's hear Bannon.
CBS, ABC, suck on this, because this, I hope, is the plan that gets implemented. The first three rows are all the podcasts and the bros and all that. The first three rows of that, new media, alternative media, the streaming services. You guys are like in the cheap seats. You're in the fifth and sixth row because you know what? You deserve to be in the cheap seats. All you do is attack him and rip him apart. You think we're now going to honor you? No, the Helen Thomases of the world, the tremendous reporter, I think she was UPI or AP, who always got the first question. Boom. That should be new media.
All right. It doesn't seem to be including talk radio here. Too much of that bro stuff and all these guys. I think talk radio was more important. I'm still not convinced all those bro guys actually showed up and voted. I'm waiting on the results on that. We'll see. Somebody's doing an analysis on it. It's kind of chic to say that. They did the right thing. They reached men and the Rogan thing, but Rogan didn't endorse to the last day. All right. With that being said, let me give the side
clip you saw was from a COVID 2020. That's why the hair looked different.
Oh, okay.
So breaking news. I don't think he's changed his hair quite yet.
Okay.
Dang.
But he just did say, though, Dan, it was another news conference here. I'm looking on Fox that we will fight to the death for Jersey values. He did talk about Trump reaching people. Rubio talking about the Democrat resistance. What are they the resistance to here? Exactly what is that? The biggest nutbag idea of the day is having Sotomayor drop out so they can put another Democrat in. There's no way that Republicans are going to allow a Supreme Court seat to change right now. If she dropped out, Trump would get another Supreme Court pick. That's exactly what would happen. I think he's probably going to get one or two during his first 2 or 3 years. I think that's the way it'll go. Okay, side question today.
Here you go.
Okay.
So much for unity on this Friday after an election. Trump hasn't even assumed office yet, but high-profile Democrats are vowing to fight back.
If it's contrary to our values, we will fight to the death. If Trump comes after your freedoms, I'll be there.
You come for my people. You come through me.
If you try to harm the others or roll back their rights, I will fight you every step of the way.
We did not expect this result, but we are prepared to respond to this result.
Oh, my God. So immediately, that gets me into Chad Wolf, the former or the acting head of Homeland Security. Listen to what he says. This will be cut 8 about the removal of people who are here illegally, even with American children. Then I'll tell you what I want to see in deportations and Trump early on here. Here's Chad Wolf.
You can look at a lot of these different categories of individuals. Some, again, have gone through the system. Others have not. Others are criminals. Others are a danger to communities. And that's what you need to prioritize and start moving out.
Who are parents of U.S. citizens? Would they be removed?
Again, every case is different. There's different scenarios, but probably not a high priority. But that's not to say that they should be exempt. That's the question I get a lot. Well, should this case or this type of person be exempt from the law? And the answer is no. No one should be exempt from the law because that just invites more unlawful behavior at the end of the day. But you do need to prioritize based on your resources. And again, I haven't talked to the president, but I think he's been very clear about wanting to protect American communities from dangerous individuals.
All right, well handled there. Now, here's what they're saying, and I think most people are on board with this. Trump is not going to say on January 20th, we're rounding up 20 million people. By then, he'll have appointed a Wolf or a Homan or whomever, and the strategy is going to be marshaling, targeting those that are here illegally, have committed crimes. Now, what I want to see from Trump, and I want to see an all-out battle on this, they've huffed and they've puffed before, but they didn't deliver, and it's difficult. Will they marshal the Republicans? They should have all three branches now, and the executive action to take away federal funding, not all of it necessarily, but take away enough on sanctuary cities. You want to be a sanctuary city? We won the election. You're not getting federal funding for X. That's what's going to happen. Now, that's a reasonable approach to this. What's happened so far, we're seeing stories today of a lot of people self-deporting. They're going to Canada. And Canada now is trying to push back against people wanting to come in, asylum and the like. Oh, wait a minute. Canada doesn't want this now? Well, I think that's something to take a look at it. Here's a little bit more of Phil Murphy, I think from today, right, Dan?
It's from yesterday.
From yesterday.
From 2 days ago, actually.
Okay.
November 6th.
All right, here we go.
So the point is that we have been down this road before. And when we have put New Jersey and our shared values first, we have emerged stronger. We have faced extreme adversity before. And when we refuse to give in, we have emerged tougher. We've been fearful of what the future holds before. Our allies and adversaries alike waiting to see what path we chose. And when we have stayed true to our values, we have emerged more united as a nation, as a state, and as a people.
So that's pretty early on the press conference, and then finally he wraps it up, Dom, with...
Whether that scared them off or not, I don't know. But it's an example of a small step that gives you a sense that we're willing to try anything if it's contrary to our values. Again, I'll conclude again with this. If it's contrary to our values, we will fight to the death.
Okay.
If there's an opportunity for common ground, we will seize that as fast as anybody.
Okay. You're going to have to fight to the death. I want them to go after your funding. You want to stick out there. We're not coming after individual families. You want to come out there. You're going to sanctuary state, not just a city. Then you're going to lose federal money. Now, I wouldn't do everything all at once, and this has been talked about before. It didn't happen. I'm not sure how much congressional has to be part of this, but we'll see. Okay, the Justice Department has unsealed criminal charges in the thwarted Iranian plot to kill President Trump. We'll give you more details on that as they develop here, as I see them come out. There's also talk in a second Trump term of releasing all these things that have been covered up, be they the Kennedy files, be they the P. Diddy files, the Epstein files. Not sure why in the first term some of this stuff didn't make it out there, but I think you're going to see some of that. What about the Bannon idea, though? You know, I'd go there for that, for talk radio. Yeah, it'd be worth it going to Washington to ask a question in the middle of that. Now, Jeff Van Drew is next. Going to ask him about Trump's reaction. I'm sure Trump has spoken with him since the election. Also, why did Jersey turn out so well this time around? I don't think Jersey's a swing state yet. It's going to take several of these elections to convince me of that, but it was a big uptick. One more like that, like winning the governor's race, that would give us some degree that something is happening here. That's the next big thing on the horizon, I think. I like Jack Ciattarelli. And one other thing, I heard Dan talking with Dawn. You know, we live here, despite the presidency. The fact that the Democrats have held, it appears, the House in Pennsylvania. And here's what I attribute this to. Doug Mastriano. He blew it up. Now we have incumbents in there. They're harder to get out. Just remember, the next time you say, well, President Trump won, why can't Doug Mastriano win? There's only one Trump. There's only one person who's able to do some of this stuff. Doug Mastriano is not Donald Trump. I will never forgive that nonsense with this guy. He gave us Josh Shapiro, and he gave us the Democrats in charge of our day-to-day lives again. They can block everything in Harrisburg. I don't know. Maybe the roof will leak again. If one of them's absent, the roof leaks. They have control again. How's that possible? Well, it is once you let them get in there. All right, Congressman Jeff Van Drew is next. First, Batteries Plus Bulbs. My friend Roy started the original Batteries Plus Bulbs right here, Mount Laurel, Route 73. He added another store at Northfield on Tilton Road. And Roy is looking for help right now. He needs a handy do-it-yourselfer types would be ideal. It's a great low-pressure, part-time job. Customer service is the key. Because at Batteries Plus Bulbs, not only do they have everything that you'll need, but they power it, they light it, and they fix it. And the things that they fix could be in the business setting. It could be an energy audit. It could be your phone. It could be anything. I've told you for years, this is the guy to at least make the call and say, here's what the issue is. What do you think we can do? And then once you meet with them, you'll see what I mean. Unbelievable customer service and expertise. So give Roy a call. You're interested in that part-time job, might be full-time ultimately, need something in the tech field, whatever it might be. It's 856-638-0778. Batteries Plus Bulbs, 856-638-0778. 2 stores, Mount Laurel and Northfield.
Weather sponsored by Morgan & Morgan.
Temperatures will remain well above average for one more day with plenty of sunshine today. It'll be breezy with a high of around 72. It will become chilly tonight, mostly clear, low 46 for the city and colder in the suburbs. And we're back to near average on Saturday, plenty of sunshine with a high near 60.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. We recently received a call from an injured person. The insurance company had offered them $11,000. We took the case over and got more than $2 million in court. Morgan & Morgan.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When you're hiring for your business, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology makes finding qualified candidates for your job easy. This made us wonder, what if the rest of the world was as easy as ZipRecruiter? Math problems wouldn't be so problematic.
K equals 42.
Escape rooms? Elementary. And summiting Everest would be a walk in the park. In the meantime, if you want to make your hiring easier, use ZipRecruiter. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Simple. So, see what the world is like when ZipRecruiter does the hard work of hiring for you. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. You know how important online privacy and security are these days, and that's why I subscribe to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Have you ever searched your name online and noticed how many sites are actually selling information about you? Privacy Pro is going to help you remove your personal info from those super creepy sites so they cannot share it or sell it. That's important to me. I know it's important to you. And you know what I love? I have my own little DuckDuckGo dashboard, so it actually keeps tabs on the progress of any ongoing removals and then lets me know if my personal information was removed. It gives me those dashboard reports in real time. Gotta love it. It's 3-in-1 subscription service, DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. Get an exclusive 7-day free trial at DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Sign up now, DuckDuckGo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Looking for the confidence to walk away from the 9-to-5? Find out how with Joe Yakovich on The Heart of Your Money, Sundays at 9 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Broadcasting live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in Congressman Jeff Van Drew. It seems like a lot of time since we've spoken with him. A lot to report over there in Jersey and with the president. Let's go to Congressman Jeff Van Drew. All right, what was the scotch of choice on election night?
Oh, man, it was a Macallan, absolutely. Yeah. Quite late in the evening. We were at our headquarters, and, we celebrated a little bit and then just watched as we saw our president arrive at victory himself. So it was a good night. It was a good night, not only for me, but I really mean this. It was a good night for the United States of America. People were worried about this one. Dom, on your show so many times, I spoke about how this was a watershed election. And I know we use those terms too sometimes. Right. This is one of the most important elections. And it really was. We knew this was different. There was something different. People probably won't see something quite like this in their lifetime again. This was an upwelling of people who believed in America, and they were working people and just people who, believe in the basics, just believe that America is a great country, that it always can be better. We need to work at it, and just didn't like a lot of the stuff that was going on. Real quickly, they like to call us weird. I don't know how they got that. We can talk about a lot of issues, the border, the economy, how expensive everything is, just, on and on and on, what's going around the world. But just one issue, right before, my last moments of campaigning, a woman came to me, and she was very moderate. She was the typical what they used to call suburban soccer mom. She said, but it's just weird. And that's the word she used, that biological men can compete in women's sports. Mm-hmm. It's weird that your kid can go to school and, a 10-year-old kid can say, I want to change my name, change my sex, change my pronoun, and doesn't have to tell or work with the parent, the mom at all, and just can go ahead and do it with the government and the administration of what is that? That's weird. It's scary. And I don't care what people do in their bedroom, Dom, as long as I don't have to pay for it and as long as you don't force it on my kids. I don't care.
Well, Jeff, my last column before the election, this was weeks before it, was that is the sleeper issue because it's a tell of how radical they are. I was going to send it to you to put through the pipeline, but then I researched it and found that the Trump campaign had already ran, by that point, $32 million in ads on it. Those people right there got it. I don't care what you say. That helped people that don't pay attention too much to see what Harris was about.
Absolutely. A reporter asked me a little while back, what do you regret? Literally. And I think it was a reporter that's not always so friendly. It's fine. And I thought you probably thought I was going to say, I regret this vote I took, or that I became a Republican, or that I aligned myself so much with President Trump. And I said, you know what I regret? And I really mean this, Tom, and I've said this to you before on the show too, that not every man and woman in America can sit with me on that Judiciary Committee and just see and hear what has been going on with these people in this administration. I mean, it really is lawfare. What they did to Trump really was wrong. There's been lies, deceit. It's been horrible. And they've had to apologize over and over again now, but it's not covered. Still, a lot of Americans don't know. There's so much wrong that there's not enough time, nor is there enough money for advertisements to go through it all. It's amazing, but people intuitively knew it. And there's a tremendous collective sigh of relief that just maybe we're going to keep America.
Now, this is a very good sign to me. You and I have talked about this. You see it more from the inside. Everybody needs somebody to kind of balance them and not let them get too out there. And Trump appointing Susie Wiles, my friend, a great friend, Jim Worthington, who's a big donor in our area, Jeff, knows them well and knows her. And he was talking with me this morning saying, this is exactly the right tone Trump is setting. She is the first chief of staff who's a female, but more importantly, she's the gatekeeper. You know, everybody in the world wants to get in and see Trump. You got to have a little bit of order here to make him function and in the second term squeeze out everything he wants to do.
No doubt, no doubt. And it's going to be she's great, and it's going to be a balance because you still want him to be the guy that one-on-one can talk to, you know, a congressman.
Right.
And still do that, yet at the same time be able to have some order where he's just not scattered in a million different directions. You know, I think it's important to have that balance, and I think they will strike it. And yes, you know, this horrible president, this president who hates women, this president who, you know, is going to do all these terrible things. The first damn thing he does is name the first woman as chief of staff of the presidency of the United States. You know, that just tells the story in itself right there.
Now, let's say on fantasy, on election day, as we see those long lines out there, you were the chair for Trump in Jersey. Are you thinking, I'm going to carry and deliver New Jersey for Trump? History books forever. We'll be writing about Jeff Van Drew. What happened that there was that surge in New Jersey?
People have had enough. It is a blue state, but and you know, if I were to make a headline for all that, you know, my headline would be, "Thank God New Jersey is still not California."
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there still is that working class people, real people, people who, you know, care about their country and go to work every day. And that's what, again, you and I talked about over and over. I kept saying, and a lot of people thought, you know, a lot of the insiders thought, oh, Van Drew's, you know, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I said, we got a shot at this. And we really did. Remember, Don, what we did. You know, we had the biggest rally still in history. And it was, I'm going to say that was New Jersey and Pennsylvania because we had a lot of people from VA.
Right.
We got the early voting on the machine. We had so much more early voting than you normally would ever see. We pushed that around the whole state, pushed it in our area as well very heavily. It made a big difference. I spoke to President Trump midnight before Election Day. He actually called me. Very gracious, thanking for the work we did. He said, you think we got a shot in New Jersey? And I said, yes. I said, it's going to be hard. I said, you are winning, and he was. The machine vote. Will win the machine vote on the day of the election. It was the mail vote that actually made it just not, we didn't quite make it because of that. Now, remember, Dom, not one penny was spent in New Jersey. Not one person was put in New Jersey. We had nothing. It was me and a couple of people on my political staff that were doing everything. So do I think maybe we could have won it? Yes. Do I think that his people around him were wrong by not putting in a bunch of money in New Jersey? No, I don't think they were wrong because they had to go, you had to win, and you had to go by what were the most flippable, you know, states, which were the most swing states.
Exactly. No slight on Jersey, but if I had $10 billion, I want 11, and I want to put it all on one thing, Pennsylvania. If I win that, it's over. That's what I'm going to spend anything.
That's what I even said when we did the rally. You know, it's great because we had tons of people from New Jersey, but there was a huge crossover from many of my friends from Pennsylvania came. And so everything I've tried to do around the state was always with an eye on Pennsylvania. And I do believe I think we helped a little bit.
You did. Now, here's the big thing. We haven't, you know, we're still in shock from how big this was and everything else. What does this mean for big wind in New Jersey? Does it mean, if we just play this out for a little while longer in the courts, et cetera, that at the federal level, that Congress and President Trump will be able to do something now?
Well, I'm certainly hopeful. I mean, there was nothing more hurtful to me when I finally got a bill done in the Commerce, Justice, and Science Appropriations Committee to say, hey, we needed certain things done before we went forward with these wind projects, and the damn Democratic Senate stripped it out. So that's not going to be the same anymore. We're going to have to work with the president, see what his people want to do, and how we approach it. I would love an executive order. The little difficulty that we have here is that the leases have federally been granted to some of these companies already, including off the coast of New Jersey. But I'd love us to declare some kind of an emergency. I'm even thinking national security, because guess what? I don't know if you saw, I just read it briefly, but Zelensky in Ukraine is stopping any of these wind turbines because he says it's a national security risk because they're not going to be able to tell all the time when missiles are coming over. By the way,
Wow.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
He's right. It's true in New Jersey, too. These people were so hell-bent on pushing these large, multi-billion and maybe trillion-dollar projects through, they're willing to risk our national security, because when you talk to military people, Coast Guard, others, they'll tell you that they're real concerned about it. But if they talk aloud about it with this administration, that they would never move forward with their rank. That's
Absolutely.
how unbelievably bad.
Hey, all in all, the great May 14th event in Wildwood and then ongoing, it has been fabulous. We can hardly wait to have you in person and celebrate all this. Congratulations on what you've done in New Jersey, and the best is yet to come.
Tom, thank you for always being a voice of reason and fairness. And, I appreciate you so much, and the people that work with you. God bless you. And let me just say, it really, truly is a great, great time for the United States of America. I'm hopeful that we're going to go into a golden age.
Absolutely. We are moving there. Thanks, Jeff, very much. Appreciate it.
Take care. Bye.
All right. I think that was one of the highlights of the summer, the Scotch contest with Jeff and Drew. We have
that
to
was
figure
great.
out, oh, man. Coming up, the side question, and Jim Kelly makes...
Let's do it right now because Jim's got to get out of here.
Okay, let's do the side question right now. Special executive order. All right, so yesterday I had the experience watching The Godfather. Jim, which role are you taking? I forget what you do here.
I am going to take Don Corleone.
Oh, Don Corleone. Yeah, I'm a better Michael. You do the Corleone voice better. I'll defer to you for now.
Okay.
So I'm watching it. The big scene's coming up. The Godfather was on AMC. And DJ is trying to talk the campaign with me. I tell him once, it's a scene, 15 seconds, 14 seconds, that I think is the quintessential scene, my top scene maybe in all of cinema. Look at Henry kill over there. Uh-oh. So we're looking for that scene. If you're watching it, say it's TV, wherever.
The hook.
You cannot be disturbed. And you just have to tell people, no, I can't talk. The house is on fire. Go put it out.
And even further down, that one scene that hooks you. You get that.
Yeah, the hook. Oh, this is
and
it.
once you get that scene, there's no turning off the movie the rest of the way.
You haven't seen The Godfather, so yes.
I wouldn't know.
Because this is later in the film. This is the summary of everything that it's about with the family. All right, Don Corleone.
Check the telephones.
I did it, Pop. You can trust me. Pop, what's wrong, Pop? I did it already.
Oh, man.
I like to drink more wine than I used to.
It's good for you, Pop. Drink it. It's good for you, Pop.
Check all the poll results. Remember, whoever comes to you with this meeting first is a traitor. I like to get more paranoid than I used to, but
I understand, Pop. Pop, can we get to the family? What's the matter, Pop? What's bothering you?
It just wasn't enough time, Michael. I mean, I always wanted to be you in the pull the strings. Senator Corleone, Governor Corleone. It just wasn't enough time, Michael.
We'll get there, Pop. We'll get there. I can't say those lines without
That's
tearing
what
up.
you've been waiting for.
I've been waiting. I tear up. That's the family. That's the type of thing. The family goes on.
We have to take this on the road for the next.
You know what, Jim? You're a South
Today
Philly.
in Dom Giordano
You're a
Theater?
South Philly guy. Joe
Yeah.
Conklin has demanded November 23rd. I invite you in his stead.
I would love to do that.
We can perform this for them at St. John Newman.
I think we could do this as definitely an opening act because he's trying to tag me because he does Trump.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, you could be Trump and I could be Hannity, and I could walk there and go, and you know what it is? We got the president-elect Donald Trump with us, and it's good to be here at St. Maria Goretti High School, Philadelphia. And I know some people, the great Dom Giordano, Jim Kelly, they're from this neighborhood, and they're with us tonight as well. Don't forget Newt Gingrich coming up, Fox, Hannity, Fox News Channel. Don't forget to set your DVR.
And don't forget your Philadelphia Eagles.
And don't forget right now Merrill Reese, who I was imitating last Sunday when I was DJing at the Link, and it was a great time. People loved it when I imitated
promotion.
Merrill.
Shameless.
It is, of course.
Hire Jim Kelly. You got to hire this guy.
Hire Jim Kelly. He'll do whatever.
Call me, leave me an email. We'll get it to Jim Kelly. All right.
Honestly, like real behind the scenes, Jim introduced my entire wedding party in the voice of Merrill Reese. If you need a wedding DJ, this guy is the guy to go to.
That's the go-to.
I remember that very well because I'm sitting there studying the lines constantly, and I'm like, I got to get this
Can't
right.
screw it up for Dan.
All right, I think people are off the side question. Jim, have a good weekend. Off the side
You
question
too, Dom.
again
Thank
is-
you, as always.
As always, I love it. All I have to do is the Michael, which I just get emotional over when he says, "We'll get there, Pop. We'll get there." 855.
People on YouTube are asking, are those real tears coming out of your eyes, Tom? Are you actually crying?
Yeah. I mean, that line, that's why I tell people. Now, Henry, you said yours might be in A Few Good Men?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go away from that today, though. It's
come
too
on.
easy.
Okay,
I feel like I've done A Few Good Men too many times, but a movie I've beaten to death for sure is Dune 2. And the scene where Paul gets up in front of the Fremen in the temple in the south, and he rallies them to fight against the Emperor.
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Yeah, he rallies all the Fremen to fight against the Emperor. That scene gives me goosebumps every time I watch it. And another one I'll take off is the ending of the movie La La Land. Spoilers if you haven't seen it.
Wow, that's an
eclectic. I know the ending.
Oh my God!
Yeah. I don't want spoilers.
Well, all right, then cover your ears right now. I'm going to spoil it a little bit.
All right, Dan, what's yours?
Whoa, hold on. I got. Come on. No, the last scene where they make eye contact with each other in Seb's jazz club, and they just give each other a look. I mean, that scene I think's all time.
They had the wrong guy. The wrong guy. That guy's the most overrated guy in
Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, oh, God, I despise
One thing
him.
I'm learning about Henry is even though he's close to a mullet, he is quite the hopeless romantic.
Oh, he is?
That's
true.
That movie's awesome. I'm sorry.
Yes.
It really is.
All right, Dan, you have one?
Yes, mine comes from my favorite movie, Dom. It's the opening scene of The Truman Show where he's driving around.
The Truman
Show.
Show.
No, you're getting a glimpse of what this guy recognizes for his regular life, and all of a sudden you see that light drop out of the sky and all. And you know what's going to come, but it just hooks you in, and you got to stick with the film the rest of the time. My all-time favorite Truman Show.
All right, boy, what a range of lists here. Okay. So we're looking for that scene. It's all in the call. Tell us why. What is it? You get it with The Godfather, family. Yeah, with me, that sets me off every time. I would just say in A Few Good Men, the line is when he says he ordered the code red. That's the line that
You're
sets me off.
goddamn right I did.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, there's an impression from Henry.
Yeah. All right, hit us with
I
that.
don't give a damn what you think
good.
you are entitled
That's
to.
good.
You want answers?
That wasn't even better.
Yeah.
You got it right there. That's the voice.
Yeah, extra credit for callers who call in with that scene and imitate
a little
the
bit.
scene,
Yes, a little bit. And Joe Conklin, see what you've unleashed. Now we got Jim Kelly and me. We could do a half hour there easily on the Conklin thing.
You can do 3 hours. Just do the whole Godfather movie. You all take 4 different parts.
855-839-1210. That's a side question. Give me your reaction to all the stuff. And I have my top 11 moments in the 1 o'clock hour from the 2024 campaign. Let's talk FanDuel for a moment first. So the NBA is back, and FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, America's #1 sportsbook, wants you to catch all the action. Right now, FanDuel is giving everyone 3 months of NBA League Pass. All you have to do is catch every tip-off, buzzer beater, place any $5 bet on the NBA to get 3 months of NBA League Pass courtesy of FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom to make every moment more this season. And make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. You have to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. After 3-month free trial, the full price of League Pass will be automatically charged monthly. Cancel anytime, no refunds. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Limit 1 per customer. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Do you know your numbers? What numbers? Your heart health numbers, your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your blood sugar, and your body mass index. They're important, so ask your doctor. Learn your numbers, and if something doesn't seem right with them, see a Deborah specialist at one of our offices throughout South Jersey. After all, when it's your heart, you don't take chances. Find a specialist near you at demanddeborah.org.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business, with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
California Psychics was great. Gosh, I got everything I can imagine from my reading.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. In fact, we reject 98% of the psychics who apply to work with us. So we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free.
She told me something about my love life that I needed to hear. I do feel better about my relationship from what she told me. I feel like I'm on the right path.
Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20, which means you could soon be taking a romantic stroll down the right path, too. Experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Get $5 off with code RADIO5 when you download the app.
It's that time of year again to consider replacing your old drafty windows and doors before another long, cold winter season rolls in. And my good friends at Guida Door and Window will help make your window and door replacement project more affordable with their buy one, get one half off sale. For every door and window you buy, you'll get the second one at 50% off. And you can mix and match these savings to suit your own needs. Buy an entry door, get half off a storm door. Buy a patio door, get 50% off a window. Need to replace all the windows and doors in your house? Then you'll save 50% on half your project. The more you need, the more you save. Plus, Guida is making it easier to afford your project with no money down and interest-free financing for up to 18 months. Act now. This offer is for a limited time only. Restrictions apply. For full details, call Guida today to schedule a free, no-obligation in-home estimate at 877-GO-GUIDA or visit them at GoGuida.com. That's go, G-U-I-D-A.com.
Free speech lives here with Rich Zioli weekday afternoons 3 till 7 on Odyssey's #1 talk station, 1210 WPHT.
All right, that was a jam-packed first hour. Laura Trump at 1:30 coming up with Dom and Dr. Marty. Really looking forward to Dr. Marty McCary today about Robert Kennedy Jr. and some of the stuff already flying around, and he's not even in charge of anything yet. I think there's a lot to be gained. I think he needs guardrails, though. We'll see what Dr. Marty says, because he's talked about chronic disease, too much sugar in our diet, throughout COVID as an underlying cause of those who really had difficulties with it. And I will give you, coming up, my top 11. I put Jim Kenney in there right after the next break. My top 11 big moments People were convincing yesterday, particularly Dan, so I did put the assassination in there, but only at number 4, because I don't believe that's what ultimately won it or moved the needle, but you can't deny it. It did put Trump on the map in a different way.
I'm going to brush the dust off this Dom's Top 10 sounder.
Oh, okay, that's right. We
Yeah.
have to do more of these. I'm always open if you'd like to hear a top 10 of anything.
Ooh, I can't wait for this.
Like the most attractive women of all time. Or men. I'll do the men, too. I'll give you that.
Gavin Newsom?
I don't know about all time, but I
Yeah,
got to
no.
say, he's an attractive guy. I was looking at the hair and thinking, oh, man, there must be a lot of action with that.
Yeah,
definitely.
Sure. Yeah, attractive women, maybe, might get us in trouble.
No, I don't think
with
so.
the wives. Not necessarily management. I think Greg would
no,
be okay with it.
Oh, yeah, no, Rose fine with that. She kids about that
Oh,
all
yeah?
the time.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. All right, so come on, we got to get Maisie on board with that. Let's get her to sign a writ of
I
habeas.
think she probably would.
Yeah,
I
tell her,
don't know for
Maisie,
sure.
can you please sign a writ of habeas corpus on this?
A waiver.
So to speak, a waiver. 855-839-1210. Get in on Talk Radio 1210.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Cape May is beautiful in the fall, and here's some great news. The Grand Hotel in Cape May, New Jersey offers so many wonderful packages and special theme weekends this fall to help you make memories that will last a lifetime. From now through December 21st, book a fabulous fall midweek stay. When you stay multiple nights, you will receive resort credits that can be used at Hemingway's for food and drink or at the gift shop. Also, check out their Grand Escape weekends. And it's not too early to think about Thanksgiving break. The family will love an ocean holiday Thanksgiving. While Hemingway's is doing the cooking and cleaning up, you and your family can use the gigantic indoor heated swimming pool and actually enjoy Thanksgiving break. The Grand is the perfect place for you and your spouse or the entire family. Whatever your travel wish is this fall, the Grand has specials and incentives to fit all your travel desires. You will not be disappointed. Book directly with them for the best rates. Book your stay today. Call 800-257-8550 or visit them online at grandhotelcapemay.com.
At Independence Blue Cross, we take care of the people who take care of you. Everyday heroes like firefighters, police officers, teachers, farmers, and healthcare workers. Doctors and hospitals across the region have IBX, and they know what it means to have reliable access to care. So whether you're saving lives or just trying to live a healthier life, count on IBX, the region's #1 health insurer for 85 years. Learn more at IBX.com.
With so much uncertainty in the world today, you may find yourself wondering, is now even the right time to retire?
So many people are waiting, and those folks are going to be waiting a really long time, I hate to say, because there's no perfect time. The market is always unpredictable and volatile.
Fortunately, Jim Cipriotti has been helping get people to, through, and beyond retirement for over 25 years. And each week, he wants to help give you that freedom to retire. Listen to Freedom to Retire with Jim Cipriotti, Saturday mornings at 9 and Sunday afternoons at 5 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hi, Dawn Stensland here. You've heard me talk about Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding for years now. How much I love the work the Chapman family team has done in my home, especially that wall of glass patio doors that replaced some windows when you walk into my foyer area. You know by now if I needed windows, doors, or siding, I would only trust the Chapman team. But did you know they also install shutters? A perfect complement to your new windows. For the month of November, Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding is giving away a pair of shutters when you purchase 2 pairs. The right shutters can really enhance the curb appeal of your home. Whether you or somebody you know are looking for windows, doors, siding, shutters, or hardware, just give them a call. You can text them. They're local. 610-431-8898. That's 610-431-8898. You can always take a virtual tour online, ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Get all the details. That's ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, good Friday, everyone. Lara Trump at 1:30, Dr. Marty at 2 o'clock today, and Sergeant Dakota Meyer at 2:30, Veterans Day. He's coming to the Eagles game this weekend. No, wait a minute. Is it this week? Eagles are at home this weekend? I thought they go to Dallas. No? Must be at home.
No, they're in Dallas.
Okay. Let me see where he is going to be then. It's Veterans Day. And Toyota's partnering with Veterans, help support Veterans Day. He'll be, I have to read this then. I'm not sure where he's going to be. We'll ask him, okay? I know every year we have him come on to talk about Toyota and sponsorship, et cetera. Usually I thought he was coming. Okay. Jack Smith is giving up the January 6th case, I think both cases. Well, he's telling the judge to take away the deadlines on these cases because he says with the election of the president, it's time to do that so that we can reassess what we're going to do. I think translation, he's going to drop the cases. I thought he still might continue it and force something else to go on, but that's what Jack Smith is engaged in. The sentencing is in late November on the state matter. The judge may drop sentencing. Trump will win on appeal on that. And we'll see how that plays out. But right now, and thanks for all the input of people on Twitter at Dom Show 1210, etc. I made it 11 because I had to get Jim Kenny in there. That's right.
Structure? Why even question who to turn to? Dom Giordano tells you what's big and important in today's world and what order you need to care about it in. It's time for Dom Giordano's Big List.
All right, in 11th position, Jim Kenny. What a moment. And I think he went to upstate Pennsylvania or something to pitch for Harris. We had a field day playing what he was saying. That was a pretty desperate sign.
Yeah, you know you're really digging at the bottom there when you're trying to get a
Jim Kenny.
Heated mayor.
I couldn't believe how bad he was in that clip in that exchange too.
Yeah, unprepared.
About being a newspaper boy.
Yeah.
Stuff of that. Yeah, and rising up. In 10th position, the moment I put it mainly was with the Amish. There were so many moments, and I wanted to get him in there. Scott Presler deserves the 10th position, even in this heavyweight list. I don't know what the biggest moment was. Probably Dom Giordano Day. I should have put that down with Scott Presler. In 9th position, I don't care what anyone says. He doesn't deserve any more than this. Stop it already. Joe Rogan and the Bro Tour that Trump did, he didn't endorse until almost the last minute. If he had endorsed a week in advance.
Would he be higher if it was?
Yes, if he endorsed earlier on. I mean, the interview with Trump got 50 million, yada, yada, yada. I'm still not convinced, Dan, that these guys voted in overwhelming numbers.
Oh, I think they did.
I don't see the evidence necessarily of that. We'll see. You know, the low propensity voters, did they come out because of that? These are very reluctant voters.
So let me ask you, though, are you specifically talking Joe, or are we talking the entire podcast run?
Yeah, the entire podcast.
Well, then I think it should be higher if we're talking the entire podcast. I think that was a huge decisive factor in getting young voters out there and creating an environment where it's kind of cool to support Donald Trump to a degree.
I'll make my case why it's only 9th here when you hear the others. We'll see. 8th position, and it's not just recency bias. This was at the end where stuff is really important, and it was a summary. This is what they think of you. You're garbage. Biden, the garbage comment, was a moment. Is that bigger than Rogan? I would maintain it was. Think about, okay, we'll take it under advisement.
Yes, because I guess it was this year's basket of deplorables comment, which would probably be top 3 when it came to Hillary Clinton, right?
And it was in a good slot, Dan, where it was like a week to 8 days before the election. You know, it wasn't 6 months before it. In 7th position, Joe Rogan's not beating this. I don't care what you say. Picking walls over Josh Shapiro.
Oh, that should be higher.
All right, we'll see.
I think that's a top 3, and that might be my number 1.
Oh,
wow!
Oh, all
no,
right.
because you look at where it all came down to. It's the state of Pennsylvania, and you elect a sitting governor there, and because you're scared of your anti-Semitic supporters, what they're going to think, you could have flipped Pennsylvania. I know other swing states went the other way, but that's the first of many that could have flipped there. I think
True.
that's top
I considered
3.
it, but I got 6 better ones than
All right,
that.
where are we going?
In 6, $33 million. Whoever said it at that moment, Tom Giordano's right. Run those ads, transgender.
No.
Oh, everybody
Too
we
high.
bring on says
Too high.
this is the sleeper issue.
I don't think they really move much of a
that.
needle, to be quite honest.
Did you just hear Jeff Andrew?
I heard
say
him.
The woman comes up to him and goes, "We shouldn't have men in girls' sports."
Honestly,
and
I'll
stuff
be completely
this."
honest. Those ads, I think, painted a crazy picture of President Trump, and I think it scared a lot of moderates away.
Yeah,
They did?
Yeah.
How?
I had to justify it to my friends of my age to say, why are they running so many ads? Why are they focused so much on this transgendered sex assignment when they be focused on economy, when they focus on other things?
Right.
I just, I agree that it's a significant issue. I just don't think it really deserves to be higher than Josh Shapiro not being
We'll
picked.
put this up to the listeners here. Henry, what do you say?
Yeah, it's just like you can only hear so many times what
The economy, the border.
no, Kamala is for they, them,
Right.
Trump is
Okay.
for you, while you're
Right.
trying to just watch a show or something. You're like, I get it, dude, I get it. Like, stop drilling it down.
Yeah, but you guys are doing this job every day. You know, these other people.
I'm just talking watching TV. like,
Okay,
at
yeah,
home.
but I'm saying these people not paying attention. Remember Charlemagne the God, the Breakfast Club, his colleague there said, she did that, really? Okay.
My whole thing with the whole transgendered issue is I think if you want to appeal and, take that issue and make it political where it should be, and that's in the schools and locker rooms with women, with girls. I guess it combines the two issue of immigration and, transgendered sex assignment surgery or gender reassignment surgery, but I think you would have won more voters if they focused on that particular issue and tried to speak to parents rather than just some claim about.
Well, she said it, though. I mean,
I know she said it.
She didn't
but
say anything on the others that I know of that was as. I mean, think of how crazed it was to say, person's here illegally, they want a sex change, and they're in jail. I think that's a
Look, I want to be completely clear. I'm arguing in the context of this being number 6 impactful.
Okay,
I do think it was impactful. I just don't know, again, that it was more impactful than, say, Josh Shapiro.
I'm with Dan on
Listeners have to help me out. 855-839-1210. In 5th position, McDonald's.
That low? I'm excited for these top 4.
Yeah, it's got to be higher.
In 4th position, early on at least.
I think it created an environment where a lot of people started to tune out and recognize how ridiculous this witch hunt was.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's big.
That's big, yeah.
2nd position, Biden in the debate. That triggered off everything. It triggered Biden off, and it triggered her in without a primary and anything else.
You know what? Yeah, that would probably make it into my top 3, maybe bumping out the McDonald's there.
And the number 1, you guys are not going to agree, but I got to stick on this hill.
Let me
The
get
number
drum roll
1,
going.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting for my sounder. Yes. Home court advantage. Here comes a beach ball on the tee from Sonny Hostin. How are you a little bit different from Joe Biden? I can't think of a single thing. I think that just killed the whole thing. She was the agent of change, and now
great
she was
soundbite,
yeah.
but I would argue that I think people already knew at that point that she wasn't much different. So yeah, I think it solidified it, but I don't know if it was that on itself that impactful.
Get the hell off the beach.
We'll let people on Twitter are calling in. So, Dan, your number 1 moment again would be?
My number 1 moment is the assassination. I think the fight, the imagery that was able to create it out of that was huge. Number 2, I think, was probably Biden. That's a huge turning point. Kamala slipped in there. And then number 3, I'd put as Shapiro instead of Walz. I think that was a huge gaffe on the Kamala
Henry,
campaign.
what's your number 1?
Yeah, number 1, I like I said, I got to go with the assassination attempt. The whole fight became, a rallying cry. It's something to,
I think it died
everybody.
off by the end because of the media. I didn't see it.
I had someone on the phone the other day on election day saying, like, I can't wait for this. I can't, I got a Trump flag on the back, and people keep honking at me and giving me the 3 fist bumps. And while I was on the phone with him, it happened. So I really do think that carried over. Number 2, I think, is McDonald's. I think the imagery of that
Really?
whole thing.
Number 2.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, totally. I think the imagery.
Well, it's
was
interesting you say that because you
fantastic.
spent a lot of time on social media, meme culture and such. And I
Yes.
think you say that because one of the biggest memes that came out, and I think won a lot of people over, was Trump at the drive-thru. And that the
totally.
Indian guy comes up and says, "Thank you, we love you, Trump." And just the image of a guy who's not white pulling up and Donald Trump serving him really made its rounds on social media.
Yeah, and whether you liked him or you hated him, that picture of him
Endeared him.
waving in the drive-through
Great
window,
picture. That one too.
went around. Yeah.
Third?
And then third, I got to go with the debate versus Biden. I mean,
Okay.
he just fell flat in his face, and that started the whole thing.
Well, it triggered the whole thing that we've seen play out. All right. There's so many big moments, to Jeff Andrews' point, that they're seared in your memory. I just threw Jim Kenney in. I had to put Scott Presler. Scott Presler is a bigger star today than even a week ago. Daily Mail, like 7 printed pages on him in the Amish. They can't get enough of it. You can't create a guy like this.
Might be a little bit selfish, but I'd love to explore this. Brett Isaacson over on our youtube.com/@1210WPHT. Go like, subscribe, click that little bell,
Right.
get notified every time we have a show on here. Says, I just don't believe Shapiro would have made that big of a difference.
Oh, God. Why would you want to do that? I wish he'd call in and tell me that, Dan. I mean, how could any reasonable person say that? Let me put it this way. With all due respect, if you want to win in the future, you got to be reasonable. That's how you win.
Scared money don't make money. You're afraid of offending people, and so, yeah, it shows what happened.
It killed him.
Yeah.
It capped their campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they, what's the name, Brady said they would have won definitively. I don't know about that, but come on now. If we're going to beat this guy coming up next, you got to recognize what he does.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, especially after October 7th, Dom, where the Democrats have a really big opportunity to prove to their Jewish supporters, their moderate supporters that see what's going on in the Middle East. They have a big chance to prove here, like, look, we are on the side of normalcy. We're going to have a Jewish guy here. He's a fantastic governor. We're going to run him. He's going to swing some votes, swing some states. And they chose not to. They chose Chris Farley down by the river instead. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, Walz not only wasn't Josh Shapiro, he was a lot worse than we can imagine. My God. Just a killer. And J.D. Vance in the beginning, Dan, you and I didn't think, we thought, man, this is trouble. There was a lot of baggage. But then over the course of the campaign, he showed himself very well. And in the debate, he was incredible.
I'd love to explore with you at some point whether or not you think J.D. Vance is indeed the future or if he's just someone that's put there to...
Yeah, this is another thing.
Yeah.
Too early to tell, but I don't think he's the presumptive nominee at all.
No?
No. Why would he be? What says that he is? That's just getting drunk on the Trump juice here.
The awarded successor of the Trump family at this point.
Trump has a way. Trump himself, though, things might turn on a dime there. You know what I mean?
You know how my brain works. I'm always thinking, is Don Jr. trying to make some moves here eventually?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know who the heir apparent would be. Remember, 4 years is an eternity in politics. J.D. Vance is right there now, but I think Newsom and Josh Shapiro are the Democrats.
Jimmy Matthews checking in says Shapiro would have never taken the offer. Do you think he was offered and denied?
No, he would have taken it with conditions that he can do X, Y, and Z. They were trying to box him in so he couldn't upstage her. He would have taken it. Why wouldn't he take it?
Good list, though, there, Dom.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Good objections. Hit us on Twitter at DomShow1210. But you know what? If you want to win, isn't that what it's all about in Trump and how I view it? You got to recognize Josh Shapiro's ability. It doesn't mean you like him. I don't. Doesn't mean you agree with him. And it doesn't mean you don't see it what a chameleon weasel he is. But you got to recognize what you're up against. And Tim Walz was just made for us. I mean,
He really was.
It's like he was a communist Chinese party plant to help us win.
Maybe he was.
Yeah. No, she was, I think it's a Jewish thing, but I think she was scared to death that he would upstage her. And it would have happened.
One thing missing from the list, this comes from a friend who actually his vote was swung by this man. RFK not on the list.
In the end, I don't know how much.
I think he swung a ton of people,
It'd be on my
man.
list, that's for sure.
Yeah. What was the moment that
Just
did
him
some-
endorsing Trump, him dropping out of the race, and he really made an example of the Democrats and
All
how
right,
they keep people out
if
and
you-
then swinging over to the Republicans. And I think he is, I don't want to use this analogy because I don't like the guy, but you know how Democrats feel about Che Guevara to a degree and how he's a freedom fighter and trying to push against the, status quo. I think RFK, to a lot of people, independents, is that main person trying to push against that status quo. he's the one. I know Trump really exemplified it in 2016, but now I think he's the one that's number one in draining the swamp.
I would have put Musk ahead of him if I were going to do that. I kind of bought into the stuff in the end and all the stuff that Musk put into this. And did Musk appeal to young men? Both of you told me that. I don't know.
Oh, you did? Yeah.
So
I think he did.
I think Musk had a bigger influence than RFK Jr. All right, but tell me which one on the list you would take off there. I mean, come on. That's a strong list. I'm dying on the hill of the transgender, though. I'm telling you, why did the Trump people, who were led by some really killer people this time, spend $33 million on those ads? Because they knew this was something that cut through people that are not paying a lot of attention. She really did that. And I think when we do it every day, we dismiss it because, we're tired of it. And rightfully so. We do it every day. All right, get in on that. Tell me what you think of that list. Is there another moment? Yeah, I thought about the Wildwood moment. It was beautiful there with the roller coaster and all, but it didn't make the list of this. I would need the top 25 to include that, And there were any number of moments, but the Biden debate moment triggered everything. And what happened on The View was big. That got played again because it's true. She was masquerading. Look, I give Harris credit, given her baggage, the media helping, of being able to pretend that she was the change agent and she wasn't going to take away fracking, et cetera. But the one thing she did not deny was the transgender stuff. She wouldn't deny it. 855-839-1210. What I'm saying is, I think Democrats, she did a skillful job because look at the baggage they had to run with. That's partly hers. What argument could they make? Abortions, Trump is Hitler. They were reduced to that because that's all that they have. That's it. Any other field, any other thing, any other policy, they're not going to win on it. 855-839-1210. You get a line. AT&T and Verizon Wireless. All you have to do is just push pound 1210. Hit me with one that you think deserves to be higher. Dan and Henry's had some good points, but the garbage comment, for example, doesn't seem to be that big. But remember those days? It was kind of a closing argument thing, and it almost seemed like Biden was doing something intentional. Can't call people garbage. It played into that big time. All right, lines are open, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in on Talk Radio 1210.
This school year, make the most of it for your child or grandchild and make the call to Kathy Ganna and New Hope Academy in Yardley and Doylestown at 800-300-0003. Give your student all the tools they need for a great school year. Let New Hope Academy transform your child's life forever by helping them now. For over 3 decades, New Hope Academy founder Kathy Ganna, a pioneering educator and entrepreneur who created the NHA model, has been utilizing state-of-the-art solutions to uncover ways where your child could avoid struggling and succeed. At New Hope Academy, there's a student-teacher ratio of 2-to-1, allowing students to deal with many disorders, including high anxiety, social and emotional, and including bipolar. Do not wait. Help your students start strong. Remember, only the best teachers can work at NHA. Call for a no-obligation tour and consultation. 90% of NHA graduates pursue a college education. Call Kathy today at 800-300-0003. Online, newhopeacademy.net. Call New Hope Academy today.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
See Joe Conklin with the City Rhythm Orchestra at the Media Theater Saturday, November 16th, and Newman Goretti High School in South Philly Saturday, November 23rd.
I loved it. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure I'd like it, but I'll tell you, I'm glad I came. Best ever.
He reinvented himself. It was really good, man.
The music, the singing, everything.
That's Conklin and City Rhythm at the Media Theater November 16th, and Newman Goretti in South Philly November 23rd. For tickets, go to joeconklin.com. joeconklin.com! Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, Plumbers protect the health of the nation, and Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumber690.org.
Hey, Joe DeCamera here. Isn't it time to invest in yourself? Well, how about this? Start a PI Dental Center with decades of experience in complex dental treatment, and I've been a patient of PI Dental for 20 years. Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, they're board-certified prosthodontists. They specialize in the restoration and replacement of teeth, and PI Dental Center are the originators of the teeth in a day. It's a revolutionary treatment that delivers fixed teeth and implants placed for a dramatic transformation in a mere one day. So visit PIDentalCenter.com. That's PIDentalCenter.com to request your new patient evaluation.
Hey girl, it's your new night guy, Jimmy Fallon in the house from 7 to 10 p.m. on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT and free on the Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Side question today. It's all about that scene. You can't be interrupted. I told you, DJ, the Godfather. You heard Henry's, you heard Dan's. Take us through that. Also, you heard the big list, the moment here. Jeff and Drew kind of re-triggered it with me. We're not going to see anything like this again, I don't think, a campaign. And it's the Trump factor, and it's just years of it that develop viral moments. I don't remember literally any campaign, and I can think of most of them, that had some pretty big moments. You'd have to go back to 1968 with assassinations and the people that were in that campaign, the bigness of it. Around that time, Wallace running, Nixon, Johnson, the Kennedys, Martin Luther King Jr., among others. Ronald Reagan was in that. You'd have to go back to something like that to have any sense that this is bigger than that. 2 assassinations, well, 1 attempt and 1 almost attempt. Hit me with that. I'd be interested to see, though, what you think. I'm still sticking on that. When she said that on The View, it triggered the mask being ripped off, as big as all this other stuff. And I've talked to several consultants. They kind of see it that way, but I'm not sure if that filtered down to the average person as much. All right, let's go to John in Westchester. And, John, you're on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, John.
Hello, Dom. Hello, Dan and Henry. Before I get to my scene, I would just like to make a comment about Josh Shapiro.
Yes.
We have an excellent opportunity to ding him up quite a bit in 2026 when he runs for re-election.
Right.
And we really need to make him, pay for the fact that he lied about his promise to have school choice. And we also need to, go after the trans opportunity in the men and women's sports and all here in Pennsylvania.
You know what? That's the first thing I would.
Senate,
I would debate that guy anytime, anywhere. He's not going to get away with what he does. You know, I can tell what he's doing, John. As soon as he starts to say "folks," knock it off already with the folks. He starts to weave in a little bit, and the
you know
folks
where you got that
out.
from?
Yeah,
Obama.
Yeah.
And he's never had a difficult campaign. He's never had a competitor to stand up to him.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I'm not certain who the Republicans have on tap yet, but you're right. National Republicans ought to spend millions of dollars to at least ding him up and stop him.
Absolutely.
Is the way to go. I think he's better than Newsom, harder to beat than Newsom. Newsom might have more baggage. He's more of a chameleon, Josh Shapiro. He'd be my target to try to ding him up.
Josh sheds his skin, so it's but anyway, that brings me to my scene. In 1970, this movie came out. I was 10 years old. My father drove me to Louisville. We lived in Kentucky, and my dad drove me to Louisville over the protest of my mother to see this movie because of the cursing in the movie. George C. Scott standing in front of the American flag, talking to his troops and telling them, it's not your job to die for your country. It's to make the other SOB die for his country.
Yes. You know what? That's why he was one of the greatest generals of all time. Why would you tell troops to die for their country? And look, nothing against Eisenhower, but when I got your Patton there in the bullpen, I'm turning him loose.
Right. And it's he that made it all the way across to Mets. He stayed too long there because it was a historical thing for him. He could have crossed the Rhine probably 30 days earlier and been in Germany before the Battle of the Bulge occurred. But, nobody's perfect. So.
Absolutely. John, that's a great one. That's
Because
exactly
I think
what
there's
it's
some folks out there that still have a little bit of brain fog.
Was that Obama or was that Josh Shapiro?
Take a guess.
That's Josh Shapiro.
It is Josh Shapiro.
Yeah, it is. He's an imitator. He's a chameleon. Come on, Josh. As soon as he leans in with the folks, they're trying to.
Remember.
Yeah.
Let's just remember, because I think there's some folks out there that still have a little bit of brain fog, having a hard time remembering what it was like. Listen.
This guy ought to be
He brought all that chaos and limited our freedoms back when he was president, and let's be honest, didn't know what the hell he was doing.
You know what? This guy ought to be sued for plagiarism. He's adopting the voice, not only the manners of Obama. He doesn't talk like that in everyday type of stuff. I mean, the last exchange I had with him, Dan, I told you. For Rose Friend, I'm doing this bidding thing at the Elmwood Zoo, right, on all kinds of things. He comes in and he starts all these snarky remarks. I mean, what do you do in this situation? Hey, Josh, I didn't know you were in the room. Oh, is that you hiding behind there? You look to be about 5'6".
So the other night when he was speaking in Philadelphia, Maisie heard his speech. She was over in the kitchen where living room was right next to her kitchen. She came over. She goes, I could have sworn that was Obama. I have a little bit of...
It was here in Philly, just down the street, that we declared our independence from a king.
Sounds just like Obama there.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't sound like that at all in everyday speech. And they love him. The Inquirer and all the rest. Oh, they love it. It's enough of it. All right. He's a winner from Tuesday night. Now he doesn't have to wait 8 years, only, 2. Or right now, he's already starting his campaign.
Honestly, strategically, I think he played this the right way in his opinion. Now he becomes the number one, a top contender for 2028, right?
Oh, he is.
And Kamala has to step aside because she was embarrassed.
Oh, yeah. No, she's not. That's why we did the irrelevancy thing yesterday.
Yeah.
She's not going to be president of anything, maybe Howard University or something.
Her book club.
Yeah, that's it. She's not going to be. So it's going to be Newsom, Shapiro, and somebody unknown out there. Who's out there next? They haven't even gotten to the Trump inaugural. All right. Will Hulk Hogan be there? 855-839-1210.
Oh, Mark Cuban.
Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Mark Cuban, the glasses are man.
Cuban Springsteen 2028.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Bruce Springsteen will be in the diner again telling us. All right, let's talk.
Your taxes.
Let's talk about Dr. Bentz, my friend dentist and board-certified prosthodontist, Dr. Robert Bentz of the Bentz Dental Group in East Norriton. So many things that set Dr. Bentz apart from other dentists. Recently, he shared with me, I told you we did 20 minutes. You're hearing some of that play out. The role that technology plays in his everyday work. Now, when Dr. Bentz works on you, you can tell this guy is surgical, just great skill with that, great staff and support. But then the equipment, what does that do? Well, with your teeth, it makes them more consistent, more precise. You get a great fit right on. None of this back and forth stuff. But it also allows him to pinpoint exactly what we're trying to treat here and get a more accurate diagnosis and then talk with you about it, your buy-in, and we move forward. This seems simple, but you probably have been to a number of dentists over your lifetime, and you know that that's not always the case. I would say a pedigree here for Dr. Bentz is that dentists routinely send more complex cases to Dr. Bentz. He's known for it. So call Dr. Bentz today, my dentist, right now, and get that evaluation, get that appointment, 610-272-6949, or visit Bentz, B-E-N-T-Z, dentalgroup.com. Bentz Dental Group. Say it with a smile, 610-272-6949.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Hire high-quality, certified pros at Angie.com.
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so stressed from shopping, I couldn't find anything.
Have you tried shopping jewelry television, JTV?
I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different.
JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax?
Yes. Another round?
Yes.
Window Nation presents the 1210 WPHT Veteran Spotlight in partnership with the Travis Manion Foundation. Listen the first Wednesday of every month as Kale and Company shines a spotlight on a local veteran, highlighting their remarkable commitment to the community and their exceptional service in the military. Presented by Window Nation. At Window Nation, there's nothing more important than giving back to the communities we serve. For all of your window and door needs, visit windownation.com. That's windownation.com.
If you depend on Social Security, your retirement lifestyle may be at risk.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. I have my doubts about where we're going as a country. Much of our Social Security funding may dry up in 7 years, 10 years, which is not good for the citizens who paid into that system. Take your money and put it into a crash-proof retirement system. With the crash-proof retirement system, I can supplement or even replace Social Security and not deplete my nest egg. It's guaranteed. This year, I have earned over 14%. We do not have to pay any fees, and you cannot lose it, which in this day and age is pretty incredible. I have absolute peace of mind because I am protected by crash-proof retirement.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Chronic pain, cancer, fatigue. Find out about the benefits of medical hydration therapy on Health Watch with Dr. Molly Fantasia every Sunday morning at 8 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Hey, Dawn here. When it comes to your home, trust is everything. For 45 years, Kitchen Magic has built a reputation for transforming kitchens with precision and care. From custom cabinets to countertops, backsplashes, in just a few days, your dream kitchen becomes a reality without all the hassle. Trust the name your neighbors have relied on for decades. Kitchen Magic. Get your free in-home consultation at kitchenmagic.com. Kitchenmagic.com. Let's cook up something extraordinary. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
Temperatures will remain well above average for one more day with plenty of sunshine today. It'll be breezy with a high of around 72. It will become chilly tonight, mostly clear, low 46 for the city and colder in the suburbs. And we're back to near average on Saturday, plenty of sunshine with a high near 60.
The Season of Performance event has arrived at Piazza Acura of Ardmore, Reading, and Westchester. Get incredible lease and purchase offers on a new Acura RDX, MDX, Integra, and the all-electric ZDX. Shop online today at piazzaacura.com.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, broadcasting from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, it is Dom time. Welcome in. University of Pennsylvania, Columbia. Let me see. There's a couple of others here. Harvard, and a multitude of others canceled classes, it now comes out, after the Trump election because of the trauma of this. Now, I'll be getting into it more next week, but when Trump ran, there are several things he talked about needed to be done to bring big college in line that I agree with. One, the tax on their endowment. What is it? Harvard has like a $34 billion endowment and yet still has hundreds of millions of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars going to Harvard. Why? Imagine the trauma of this, days off because of the election. It's almost you cannot satirize this stuff. It is so ridiculous. But it actually happened across much of the Ivy League and some other schools. So they just will not stop. They just have to be brought under control. All right, let me go to Frank, Long Beach Island. He's on Talk Radio 1210. Frank, good afternoon.
Hello, Dom. Great show.
Thank you, Frank.
Listen, I agree with you wholeheartedly that I think Sonny Hoiston's incident was significant, especially because it came from The View. It didn't come from a conservative or a Fox News.
Exactly.
Because they could have said, "Oh, you were just picking on her," but it came from a friendly outlet. And I'm sure there are people in the back going, "Did we give them that question? That wasn't on the list of questions."
Well, and I thought she'd be better prepared. Here's what I thought when Hostin started to say it. This is the moment, Frank, where she's going to make the break with Biden. They've kind of worked it out with a wink or a nod. She'll say that, and Harris has a subtle way of breaking from Biden without offending too much. And she looked like, oh, my God, why did you ask that? What was so hard about it?
Exactly. And additionally, I believe Trump was set up, or it was a setup to have Trump debate Biden before the primary so that the debate exposed Biden's weaknesses rather than the Democrats having to start the ball rolling with the media and start going, we're not so sure. So Trump should have waited till after the primary, after they picked a candidate, but they used Trump and the debate to expose Biden. So now they can go, well, as everyone can see, it's not necessarily us initiating this. Biden initiated this by his performance. And I think it was all part of the master plan. But then when Biden and Hillary endorsed Kamala early, it prevented them from getting somebody that they really wanted in there.
Yeah, exactly right. Frank, do you have a scene you can't be disturbed when you're watching it?
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, the part when they're being chased by the good guys or the lawmen and they're jumping off the cliff.
Yeah, Lord Baltimore and all them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're finally the cliff. Okay. All right, and it's telling, too. Feel free to impersonate it. Feel free to go through it a little bit when you get to that moment. 855-839-1210, that's how you get in. I mean, after all these colleges have gone through, don't you think they would say, no, you got to come to school today. You want to take a day off, you can, but we're not shutting things down because you're traumatized by the election. That's just hard to believe. Read a great article this morning at The Hill I wanted to go back on. The next 4 years, it says, and look, they're saying this provocatively, are going to be this joust between what Trump brings celebrity-wise and the Trump thing with young men and Taylor Swift. I don't know that we'll ever know the Taylor Swift endorsement. Did it mean anything? It appears now that it didn't mean as much as I thought it did. At the time, I thought, yeah, this is going to bring those reluctant voters out, women concerned about abortion, and she's the breakout agent to get them to come out. Several analysts now saying abortion did not play nearly as big of a role as we would have thought. I still think it's a Democrat issue. Trump handled it masterfully. Look at the way he handles this versus, say, Ron DeSantis and other Republicans. It's not off the board, though. They're going to go back to it again and again and again because Democrats are still out there saying, oh, my God, what are we going to do now that Trump's there? What's Trump's going to do about your abortions? Give us a break.
Ironically, I think her dad was right.
Saying that, her unfavorables, Dan, were a lot higher prior to the endorsement than I thought they were. Okay. Well, now they're higher. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now I don't know there's going to be a backlash. We don't know yet till she does the next huge tour.
Will she? Her dad in her documentary said this.
We've not got involved with politics or religion.
Yeah, but this is on the home front. And also, back in the presidential election, I was in such a horrendous place that I wasn't going to pop my head out of the sand for anything.
Would you? I mean, does Bob Hope do it? Does Bing Crosby do it? Does Mick Jagger do it?
Hell? Come on.
No, what I'm saying right now is
Bob Hope and Bing Crosby. Your dad.
That's what she should have been, though. Is Bob Hope Bing Crosby? You know, and I think she turned off a lot of people with that, both that and the Travis Kelce stuff, taking over the NFL.
Yeah. I think there is, and I certainly endorse it. I mean, I can't stand it. It just she's problematic to me. Dan, I would make this point. She's like Springsteen. Well, she's authentic, at least. We know anybody who's really big is more than just a voice, the show. There's an underlying thing. So with Springsteen, it was middle-class America, Jersey, tank towns, right? All that stuff. He's fraudulent. He's not connected to that. He hasn't been the last 15 years. With her, it's this angst and these bad men and going through that and all. And I've often thought, oh, my God, give it a rest. Come on. You know, in addition to being a top performer, isn't that the catch? I don't know anymore, though, if that appeals to them, or is it just how big it is and how big it feels and the bonding, et cetera. We'll see. That narrative of hers, it bothers me more than Springsteen, or almost as much. Now, I say almost as much. You're with Springsteen. That really sets you off. Because can't these guys see it? They all end up badly. Every one of them she uses to write more songs, ultimately. Travis Kelce, not yet. We'll see.
Well, even Maisie's just over it at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the point. It's like us with football or basketball. It's like we want to watch football, basketball. We don't care to hear political opinions for people that write the music that we love so much.
Well, particularly when Brittany Mahomes gets X'd out because of the Trump stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. That's okay.
I thought he was trying to come out.
Yeah, what the heck?
Henry has a lot of fun with the call behind the scenes here.
Headline, Bob Casey still refuses to concede. Look, if we're going to be consistent, I'm there with Casey. Bob Brady was on at the top of the show. It was great stuff because he's out there nationally now. Trump in 2020 didn't concede. Where's the moment where you have to concede? And my answer would be only when it's mathematically and it's right in front of me that you can't win, it's over, every vote has been counted, then I'm conceding. Right? And I would say this. We may have to do a side question on this. I watch it with Harris. I watch it with a lot of people. How tough that has to be to concede. You put your heart and soul into it, and there's nothing like being president. It's got to be brutal when you got to concede. You just, it's got to take every bit of energy to you to say, I concede. That's it. It's not like losing, an NBA championship or something. That's tough. But this is beyond any athletic contest you can imagine. All right, 855-839-1210 will get you on board. Hit us with that opening scene that you cannot be disturbed from. And you heard my list. You heard some of Henry's and Dan's. I haven't checked on Twitter yet, but I'd love to hear yours. We had one person agreeing with me that the moment on The View when she couldn't use that, she looked stunned. What are you asking me that for, Sonny? What am I going to say here? I thought she'd be prepped for that. The moment, that would have been the layup, how she pivots away from Biden. She was never able to pivot away from Biden, and people know how unpopular, wrong track Biden is. Why wouldn't you get that? You cannot hang with Biden. It might be messy, but you're going to have to pivot away from him. 855-839-1210. Coming up. Yeah, coming up. You want to do Money Melody coming up?
Do you want to do it right? So the question is, do you want to do it right now? Because our 2 o'clock hour for listeners is going to be action-packed. We got Marty McCary coming on the top, 2:15 or so. We're going to have Laura Trump stop in. 2:30, we're going to hear from a great...
yeah, let's do it now.
Yeah, you want to do it now?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it now.
Let's lock. There we go.
It's Dom's Money Melody.
Money gone.
All right, today we're playing for a $50 gift card to the Melting Pot. Are you down to fondue? Melting Pot is offering an all-new Down to Fondue happy hour. Available at the bar. Enjoy half-off cheese and chocolate fondue. Dates and times may vary. Visit meltingpot.com for details.
Dom, today we're talking about great scenes from films that hook you, or you got to finish the scene or the film when you see that scene. And Dom, me and Henry were talking about here is what we consider one of the top 10 films of the past 10 years. Well, just over 10 years now. I'm going to make that as a clue. Just over 10 years, just past the 10-year anniversary. But Dom, we want to know the name of this movie that this song is played throughout it, and it sets the stage for the final scene. But there's a really instrumental scene early on in the film where a teacher is telling this person trying to learn his trade to do it right. But Dom, we want to know the name of this film. It came in within the past 12 or so, I'll say 12 years, but it's just over 10 years. A film that is one of the best of the past 10 years, according to me and Henry. We want to know the name of the song, Dom. A very notable song played throughout. Take a listen. clue, Dom, I'll put out there just because I want to get our listeners to get this right. I'll say that this movie was a big instrumental launch of a career of an individual who's now really taken over the Hollywood scene. And
I'd say two individuals.
Two individuals.
Yeah,
okay, but one individual in particular who hangs around Philadelphia a lot and might be a pilot? I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think I know it, but we'll see. All right, that's coming up. We want to get a winner here quickly, 855-839-1210. You know, one of the biggest and healthiest sales of the year is back again. Rescue Natural Supplements. Black Friday sale is here. And right now, Rescue is slashing prices on every supplement with discounts up to an incredible 80% off. Rescue has a wide variety of products to address your health needs, including immunity and cholesterol support, heart health, and natural energy enhancers. Grab huge savings on omega-3s, probiotics, and so much more. And one more thing. This Rescue Black Friday sale will run the entire month of November. So shop today at res-q.com, res-q.com, or call a Rescue product consultant at 800-26-ALIVE, 800-262-5483. Again, all Rescue supplements are up to 80% off during this entire month of November. So why wait? Shop massive savings on essential supplements right now at res-q.com.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Hey, it's Rich Zioli. Business owners can count on McCausland Lock and Alarm to secure and control access to their facilities. Enjoy peace of mind while their access control and CCTV systems provide top-of-the-line protection for your assets. Tom McCausland's wealth of experience allows McCausland to effectively protect all types of facilities in any environment, and their customer service is unmatched. Call today, 610-430-1500. 610-430-1500. McCausland Lock and Alarm, securing your business, securing your future.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-511-3535. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider, 800-511-3535. That's 800-511-3535. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-511-3535.
Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel yet? Do it today at 1210 WPHT.
It's Dom Money Melody.
Where's all the money gone?
Show me the money.
All right, here's today's clue. What film are you hearing this instrumental from?
Yes, what film?
All right, let's go to Paul in. No, wait a minute. Where did Paul go?
It just dropped off.
Oh, he dropped off right on time.
Oh, look at
All right. Is Gary taking his money?
Gary.
Okay.
Gary!
Let's go to Gary. Gary, what film is it from?
Not only is it Whiplash, it's Caravan.
Wow. All right.
I love it. I love it.
And the
Nicely
song.
played, Gary. And what's your entry today? What's the scene?
Definitely. I want him dead. I want them all dead. I want his family dead. Robert De Niro in Untouchable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great one, Gary.
Capone. The way he
Tom?
bangs in the table. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All of your efforts, all of our efforts here in Lower Bucks County, all of those votes that we beat Bucks County, it was 1,283 votes. I will guarantee you all of the votes that we fought for the days for people standing in line, that was the number, 1,283.
Ah, very nice. I'll put you on the hold, Gary. Great work today.
Yes. So as you heard Gary there, the film name was called Whiplash, and the song you hear there is Duke Ellington, Buddy Rich's Caravan, and great drumming there from none other than Miles Teller, who really broke out. Fault of Our Stars, I think, is another film that he was in before this, but it was really this one that won or was up for Academy Awards. I don't know if it won or what, but I can't tell you how much of a boost this was for Miles Teller's career later going into Top Gun. But I mentioned one breakout star, and Henry said, no, there's actually two breakout stars that came from this movie. For the trivia members, Henry, who's the other breakout star?
So the other one would be the director, Damien Chazelle, who originally, before making this film, wanted to make La La Land, but wasn't getting any offers to make it. So what did he do? He went out and wrote his own movie, which became Whiplash. Won a Best Screenwriters contest as Best Script in Hollywood that wasn't made yet. Someone bought it. They made him make a short film first to have a proof of concept. Won a lot of awards as a short film. Then he got the go-ahead to make the feature film of Whiplash. Then after that, that's when he got to make his crown jewel, La La Land, which was my movie today.
And now one of the most respected directors in Hollywood.
Yes.
All right, big stuff. All right, let's go to Liz in Paoli to finish the hour. Liz, go right ahead.
Yeah, hi. What I was going to say is when Zelensky came over to the U.S. and Shapiro met him at the airport, and they went to that bomb factory and took that terrible photo where Shapiro signed that bomb that was going to go over and kill people in Ukraine. It permanently etched a visual linking Shapiro to Kamala and to the war as being a warmonger, the party of the warmongers. And I don't think Shapiro is ever going to escape from that.
I would tell you, Liz, I don't think that will be quite the baggage. You and I may be looking at that because of our positioning on this. This war is doing nobody any good. But we'll see. I mean, signing the bombs now is tricky business. You're right. We're out of that stuff of unending wars. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was a photo op that he seemed proud of.
Oh, yeah.
And it just is a photo that's very memorable. And I don't think it's going to do – I think it linked him to wasting all this money on the Ukraine war, and because he was Kamala's surrogate.
Yes.
And so I think it did I think it negatively impacted her election chances.
Thank you, Liz. Thanks very much. By the way, what happened to the 800,000 Poles that are in Pennsylvania? Remember that? That was their pitch. It's not about Ukraine. Poland is next. Trump is going to get Poland invaded. I want to see the Polish vote, how that turned out in Pennsylvania. Just another subgroup. All right, coming up. We always love Dr. Marty Makary, but particularly today, with all the stuff RFK Jr. has been doing, Fruit Loops yesterday, there's more stuff today. Colbert going after him last night. I want to hear Dr. Marty where he thinks this goes, and would he be part of a Trump administration? Also, Laura Trump will be coming our way, and Dakota Meyer, who is a recipient of the Medal of Honor. I went back and read what he did. My goodness. All that in a big 2 o'clock hour, and we'll get a winner for the week on Talk Radio 1210.
When you go on vacation, does it make sense to have someone else pack for you? Of course not. The same can be said for your retirement. Your 401k could be packed with things you don't know about or even need. If you're close to retirement but don't have a plan customized to your goals, that's kind of like taking a 30-year vacation with no idea what's in your suitcase. Seems like a stressful way to start what should be a relaxing time. Jim Cipriotti and the Retire Ready Financial Group can help you unpack your savings and build a plan to help reduce future taxes, along with a clearly defined income strategy. Call Jim at 610-894-7415 for your complimentary retirement game plan, or visit retirereadyfg.com. That's 610-894-7415.
Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
They call me the Bubble Wrap Mom. Hey, Dawn Stensland here. Yeah, I'm always concerned about safety and privacy, but it goes well beyond being just a protective parent. And that's where DuckDuckGo's Privacy Pro comes in. It's actually a 3-in-1 subscription service. And yes, it includes DuckDuckGo's VPN, personal information removal, as well as identity theft restoration. All three are pretty incredible, but I love the VPN because it gives me that extra layer of online protection. So the other day I was getting my hair done, and you know how usually it'll come in not a secure connection. I don't have to deal with that because, of course, DuckDuckGo's VPN secures your Wi-Fi connection. Anytime, anywhere, at home, work, in the coffee shop, or, if I'm getting my hair done. So I hope you check it out. Right now, get an exclusive 7-day free trial at duckduckgo.com/1210. Then you'll pay $9.99 a month. Again, duckduckgo.com/1210. Tell them Dawn sent you.
This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you ready for retirement? Have you prepared everything you need? Well, in Investor Schooling, we will teach you ways to better prepare for your retirement using real estate and the stock market. But you need to learn how to do it right, and that's what we teach. At Investor Schooling, we sell nothing but education. Come to Investor Schooling and learn how to have a better retirement. Go to investorschooling.com and RSVP right now for this Thursday's class at 7 o'clock. Go to investorschooling.com. That's investorschooling.com. This is Larry Steinhaus with Investor Schooling. Are you tired of hearing about the recession that's coming? Are you prepared for it? Well, listen, at investorschooling.com, we're going to teach you ways to prepare for the recession that you didn't even know existed. We're going to teach you strategies on how to use real estate. We're going to teach you strategies how to use the stock market properly. That's right, you can even make money in the stock market when the stock market goes down. Hey, go to investorschooling.com and register for a free class this Thursday night, and you will learn all of these techniques. Go to investorschooling.com right now, RSVP for this Thursday. We'll see you there.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit.
Philadelphia's Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, WPHT HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter. Always live on the free Odyssey app. It's Dom time. Now, Dom Giordano.
All right, it is Dom time. All the way back to COVID. During COVID, one of the silver linings, Dr. Marty Makary joined us from Johns Hopkins and was such a different voice, but a voice of reason. In other words, he wasn't following the Fauci party line, but he wasn't saying wild stuff about vaccine, masking, kids, schools. And he always emphasized, and I tried to go there, the issue of chronic illness, sugar, obesity, causal elements on bad outcomes with COVID. Now we have RFK Jr. coming to town. Wanted to see what Dr. Marty thinks about all this on Talk Radio 1210. Dr. Marty, current book for listeners, too, so we set the stage here.
Great. Blind Spots has been on the New York Times list for 5 weeks. So thanks for your interest in the book.
And blind spots, Dr. Marty, we talked about it before, but the Germany idea and blind spots.
We're not talking about the root causes of our chronic disease epidemic.
Right.
It's very much in line with what we're talking about with RFK Jr. and the Make America Healthy Again stuff. So we've got to stop what we're doing. We're so busy in medicine, billing and coding and seeing people in short visits. Nobody is just stopping to look around and realize all of these chronic diseases and even some cancers are going up. And no one is talking about the root causes, only about the medications. We've got to talk about food as medicine and general body inflammation and toxins and pesticides and ultra-processed foods. That is a new movement in medicine that I describe in the book Blind Spots.
Blind spots when medicine gets it wrong and what it means for our health. Now, I'm all on board with RFK Jr. raising these issues and having that platform. But I had on a pretty good guest yesterday. He was a fan of that, but said that there will be guardrails here because, outside the box is one thing, but some of the stuff, and I'm not in your position or a scientist, but I am pretty good at hearing something and thinking this is going to mess up the good that might be coming out of this. I don't know if he proposed it or the media hectoring at him got him to start with fluoride. And again, academically, I think that's interesting. He mentioned an Obama-era case. But starting in that is going to derail stuff, I think. What do you think about what he's doing there?
I appreciate what you're saying, Dom. So the media is looking for something to pounce on to discredit the entire Make America Healthy Again agenda. And each individual issue can have its merits in terms of, the importance of having a discussion about the unintended harms of fluoride. Some studies in top journals show that it's reduced IQ or associated with a lower IQ in children. Other studies have questioned if it's killing bacteria on teeth and lowering cavities, what's it doing to the microbiome and gut health and all the bacteria involved in gut health in the lining of the GI tract? So I understand what you're saying. There are so many health priorities and all deserve a discourse. What I'm grateful for is we've never had an open, honest discussion on many of these topics. They've been sacred cow issues. Fluoride in drinking water is literally on the CDC website as one of the 10 greatest public health achievements in modern history. It's a sacred cow topic. No one is allowed to question why are we adding chemicals to water.
Yeah, I agree. But, Marty, people of a certain age realize originally the people that went after it, they were saying was a communist plot. So it's got that history, and that's why it's my point. The stuff he was talking about with Fruit Loops, et cetera, this week is a better starting point to compare Canada versus us, the things you say about sugar. That's where I was going.
It's really amazing what Kellogg's is doing and what's coming out from Vani Hari and RFK Jr. and Callie Means. Fruit Loops is made with a healthier version of the cereal for Canada, where they've banned many of these chemicals added to Fruit Loops in the United States just to make it look prettier. And some of these chemicals have been associated with learning problems, behavioral disorders, hormone disruption, and nobody has had the courage to take on big food, big ag, big pharma in government. Most of our government agencies have been captured by these corporate interests. So,
Marty, to interrupt, but would you say, and I think you and I have talked about this before, the shame of the school lunch program, for example, the billions and billions of dollars, and food that's both unappealing but seems to me to be almost prima facie unhealthful?
Well, look, I agree with you, Dom. So I tend to see the best in people. And what we told the food industry to do 50 years ago was to address hunger and food insecurity. So they mass-produced food, used lots of chemicals and pesticides and all sorts of things and processing. And now we have a diet that's 60 to 70% of our calories are from ultra-processed foods. These school lunch programs are pathetic. Some of them are a joke. I mean, it's basically refined flour chopped up and denatured where it functions like sugar. So they going into class with a sugar high, a sugar coma. They can't learn, and what do? We throw meds at them. So we've never been talking about this until now. The average school lunch program in the Washington, D.C. area where I live has 38 different pesticides, according to a recent analysis.
Mm-hmm.
These chemicals are showing up in the urine of children, in the cord blood of newborn babies. So we've got to address them because it's not right what we're doing to kids. So I do think that's an important topic that we can address. And it's not that food companies are, trying to trick us or do something evil, although with Kellogg's making two versions of their cereal and feeding Americans the less healthier version, I maybe that's an exception.
I think so, yeah.
But we have to look at these unintended consequences of this food supply that is now poisoned and highly processed.
I brought up the school lunch because, some of these things that he was talking about, I think he said it would be Congress that has to do something, but I would think around the school lunch, the president could put a lot of pressure on them. And if this gets enough play, some of the things you and I just talked about, that's real federal dollars that we're spending. There's no doubt. This is an area where we should have control.
A lot of people are wondering, where do we start with all of this stuff? There's so much corruption in the health agencies and in healthcare. And one place we can stop doing is for the government to stop doing damage. The government is actively spreading misinformation with this old corrupted food pyramid. The government is actively subsidizing ultra-processed foods. The taxpayer dollars on a local level are purchasing these ultra-processed foods and refined carbohydrates in school lunch programs. So we can start by changing the government's behavior of how they steward their own dollars, which are really taxpayer dollars.
You said something a moment ago, too. You talked about flour when it's broken down, and it comes back to the early conversations we had with you. It does function then as sugar. So it's not necessarily sugar per se. It's all these other things that, again, produce an effect of sugar. And I would say, Dr. Marty, that's one of your hallmarks that gets at what happened during COVID, obesity, and chronic disease.
That's right. What we call bread is often not bread. It's flour that's stripped of its fiber. It's chopped up. It's chemically changed, and it functions like sugar. And so these kids are dealing with these sugar highs all the time. Their pancreases have been stimulated with high insulin levels never seen before in human history. And we wonder why we're seeing an epidemic of diabetes and prediabetes and obesity affecting half of our nation's kids. I mean, half of our nation's kids are sick. And what are we doing? Just throwing meds at it? So we've got to talk about these root causes that nobody's been talking about. During COVID, what did we do? We ignored the food supply. We ignored ultra-processed foods and obesity, even though the metabolic syndrome, that is obesity and diabetes, was the number one common modifiable risk factor of COVID.
Yep.
No one talked about it. Instead, we told people stay at home. They gained weight. They loaded up on processed foods. And then we wonder why we did so much worse than other countries.
We're talking about Dr. Marty Makary. So, Dr. Marty, then, are you going to be consulting in any of this?
I have had some conversations with folks close to this agenda of the Make America Healthy Again agenda. I love it. It's a topic that's traditionally lived with environmentalists and people on the left, some career Democrats, but it shouldn't be partisan. Moms are interested in this. Every American. There should be no politics in science. And now that RFK and President Trump have teamed up to address this, my hats are off to them because they are tackling something no one has had the courage to ever do before. And we've got to get off this hamster wheel of just medicating all of these problems. So I'm available, but I got to first make sure I watch the Eagles-Ravens game on December 1st because I don't know who to root for.
Yeah, oh, you don't? Oh, you're being the real politician. Well, you're there with the Ravens. Why would you be rooting for the Eagles?
Well, Ravens fan. I will be rooting for the Ravens. I was at the game last night.
Oh, are you?
There you go.
But I'd like to see Saquon and Jalen do their magic as well, so that'd be cool.
What do you think? What do you think of Jamar Chase going for that kind of yardage against you guys, though?
He was amazing. I just love watching great football. He was amazing to watch. But as excited as I was about him, I was sad to see Kyle Hamilton walk off the field with an ankle injury.
Absolutely, Dr. Marty. So we hope that you're part of that, definitely. But right now, the book, Blind Spots, When Medicine Gets It Wrong and What It Means for Our Health. Can you give me an idea, any prediction of how you think this is going to play out?
In terms of the agenda for the Make America Healthy Again,
yes.
Well, I think the first part is going to be to try to unite the country. We have such a wounded part in the country. And here's a topic that there should not be 1 ounce of partisanship in this. The real debate in the United States is not between left and right and Republican and Democrat. It's between people who are lying and people who are trying to tell you the truth. And we've had a sort of corporate messaging for so long with corruption, which is legal in the United States, tragically. I think we're going to try to see an effort to unite people to say, here is something we can agree on. As RFK Jr. has said, can we love our nation's children more than we hate each other? And so I think we're going to start seeing some real efforts to increase research funding in these areas to address healthcare corruption in government. By the way, speaking of healthcare corruption in government, there's a new movie I recommend for everybody. I'm in it. It's a documentary. I'm in it for maybe 15 seconds of the hour-and-a-half movie, but that's not why I'm recommending it. It goes through Dr. Fauci's career and chronicles the origins of the COVID pandemic. It's nonpartisan. It's incredible. It's called Thank You, Dr. Fauci, and it's available at thankyouDrFauciMovie.com.
Yeah, we'll have to give that a look. I think I told you, Marty, several times. Well, you knew better. You were more inside this. I was shocked. I only saw him back in the days of Chris Wallace on, the Sunday shows and all that. He seemed to be pretty good to me. But, boy, you talk about power corrupting. Absolutely. This is a story
I'm looking at
that's
this
almost unparalleled.
I'm watching this tonight. This looks really good.
Yeah. Well, with Marty in there, just check out the hair, too. I mean, that's always a good thing to do.
I don't think my 15-second appearance is going to change its Rotten Tomatoes ranking, but I think it's an amazing film that's eye-opening that everyone will love.
What's the Rotten Tomatoes ranking? Do you know?
Don't have it yet.
Oh, we don't have it yet.
2-0.
All right, we'll get on 2-0. Well, we'll give that a shot. And, Marty, thank you. We hope that you will be part of this. You're right. It should be nonpartisan, without a doubt.
Thank you so much, guys. Love you.
Take care. Dr. Marty McCary here on Talk Radio 1210. Yes. Sadly, Laura Trump is going to reschedule with us.
It's been a fun hour.
We've been moving stuff back and forth, jolting here, but we'll get it. Maybe Monday, maybe Veterans Day, whatever. And, yes, we'll be on Veterans Day and celebrating veterans. And we'll be doing that today with one of the most famous Congressional Medal of Honor recipient, Dakota Meyer. I think I've interviewed him a couple of times, at least once. He's better than some. These are hard interviews because I did 3 of these guys once out of the 41 at that time who were alive, and they're so heroic, they don't want to say anything about it. He does. He'll talk about it, but, I mean, it's like a dilemma, except for one guy who was at 11 o'clock in the morning doing Boilermakers at Andy's Diner, and he's the guy that held the Japanese off in some island combat with a flamethrower for 8 hours. He kept on refueling. My God, imagine the flamethrower guy. God. All right, so jump on board at 855-839-1210. Again, with RFK Jr., I'm glad his celebrity, his area of focus is opening this up. My only fear is, well, it's not a fear. It's fun for me. I'm going to tell you what I think of each thing that he does. And I don't think he should be going around talking about the fluoride thing at this point. There's other big things to talk about here, like the Fruit Loops thing, et cetera, big food, et cetera. The fluoride thing is, it might be fascinating academically. Why did we do this? Is it really valuable and all that? But you're going to be mocked for that. It's going to tear away from something that can make the biggest impact potentially of the Trump administration could be this. That's what I want to get at.
Mangle writes on youtube.com/@1210WPHT.
Yes.
Go like and subscribe, please. He says, my conspiracy, quote, feed your food to make you ill, then you have to take our pill. Food and pharma are in cahoots.
It's not a conspiracy. All right. That's bad to say that.
I think there's truth to that.
No, it's more complicated than that. They're doing what they can to match American appetites, etc. And again, more information. Are people unaware now? Are we saying that people just can't fight this battle and they're unaware of how to eat relatively healthful foods?
Well, it goes deep. I mean, you think about it. The dyes that are now being banned in Canada that are leading to, focus issues. But then you have an abundance of ADHD medication going to these young kids. Is something in the food creating focus issues? We need to look into that. I think that's a fair question.
Fine to look at. Well, I would tell you right now, we know enough to say that parents are going to. Are we saying that parents? I'd love to hear you on this, though.
Parents don't have a choice. That's
what
the
do you
problem.
mean they don't have a choice?
Because everything's made with this dye and with this high fructose. And the government's got to step in. FDA's got to get this crap controlled.
Well, I would be okay with that, but there's a big difference between letting your kid have Fruit Loops versus, say, another cereal. You got to, as a parent here, step in a bit. All right, that's my fear. Not only that, have your kid run around a bit, too. Are we just going to say, they poisoned him? He hasn't gotten off the couch in 18 hours.
But I feel like going with that angle, though, really just silences the conversation. It's like, you're an idiot for even asking questions.
No, I didn't say that.
No, you did say that. But when you're saying, kids should just go outside instead, well, you're implying that there shouldn't be answers.
I'm not letting them off the hook, though. But kids are not running around. They're not. That's the main reason.
There's no doubt that you're right there. That's probably the main reason. But I think if the government's turning a blind eye, or even worse, if they're nefarious and encouraging this, that should be squashed.
Well, I don't think they're encouraging it, but I think there's a blind eye to it.
I think they do. I think RFK does. I think Marty does, and that's why we're trying to get answers.
Okay, well, the bottom line is if you're a parent, though, I'd love to hear from you to call in. You mean to say you can't stop your kid from eating Fruit Loops? Don't we know? You don't need any government study. You know that Fruit Loops is not good. Is that too hard? I can't do it.
There's a difference between knowing Fruit Loops is not good and the intentionality of using ingredients that are known to be detrimental to the health.
I'm saying, though, until we get this resolved, Dan, you mean to say a parent is powerless? Anybody listening right now, it's a parent. I need to hear moms principally. You know that Fruit Loops are not good for your kid, right? You don't need any more government studies. Stop them from eating Fruit Loops. What is the alternative?
But the alternative is following the lead of Europe and Canada and saying to these companies, Fruit Loops are indeed bad for kids comparatively to Special K, but they shouldn't be using ingredients. These ingredients that are known to be detrimental should be banned.
Right. But until that happens, what am I doing as a parent is what I'm asking. And I'm saying you got to take control. Is that impossible? The argument is, well, everybody's doing it. You can't stop the kid from doing it. That's all I'm making. That's why it's a great area. I just hope RFK Jr. doesn't blow it by going around ranting about fluorides. Start with the Fruit Loops. That's a good area. Definitely. Okay, 855-839-1210. That's how you get in. And hit us on the side question. Give us that scene from a film and actually impersonate it a little bit if you can. That's coming up on Talk Radio 1210.
Dawn Stensland here. We're off to paradise once again, the Italian Riviera, on a gastronomical event that only Conservative Tours can deliver. Join me for 11 luxurious days with the professionals from Conservative Tours, the best tour operator in Italy. A+ rating with the BBB. Portofino, Rapallo, Santa Margherita, Ligure, Tuscany, and the brilliant Cinque Terre, $53.78. That includes your airfare, dining events at the wineries in Tuscany, even an authentic farm visit to see Parmesan cheese being crafted by hand. Toll free 888-733-9494 or go to conservativetours.com. Hidden Italian villages you've never seen, like Giacomo Puccini, San Gimignano, the Leaning Tower of Pisa, Florence, and Milan. And concluding on the Lakes region with Bellagio, Orta, and Isola Bella. Join me next spring in Italy. I'll see you in Cinque Terre. Tell them Dawn sent you.
You're driving along when you realize...
Oh, I've got to get over. Oh my gosh, sorry!
You didn't see him, did you? He was in your blind spot. You can also have a blind spot when it comes to your retirement. That's where Joe Yakovich of JML Financial Group comes in. He knows about a little blind spot called taxes. Social Security, your pension, your investments, all can be taxable. Look, You don't want to end up saying,
Will I be writing huge checks to the government when I retire?
Don't get blindsided by taxes. Make sure your retirement plan has a tax plan. With one call to JML Financial Group, 856-925-6674. That's 856-925-6674. Or at jmlfinancialgroup.com. Securities and investment advisory services offered through Brokers International Financial Services, LLC, member SIPC. Brokers International Financial Services, LLC is not an affiliated company. JML Financial Group does not offer legal or tax advice. Please consult the appropriate professional regarding your individual circumstance.
Just like our offensive line protects our star quarterback, plumbers protect the health of the nation. And Philadelphia Plumbers Union Local 690 is no different. In hospitals, commercial, industrial, and residential, with the best trained plumbers in the world, you can be sure your project is done on time and on budget, no matter how big or small. So when your business needs to build new or expand existing facilities, you can count on the members of Plumbers Union Local 690. Visit plumbers690.org.
Weather can be unpredictable nowadays, but your local news station on the free Odyssey app has got you covered. Whether you need an umbrella, windbreaker, or an extra layer, or two, we'll let you know. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station to listen on your smartphone or ask your smart speaker to play it before you head out the door. Download the free Odyssey app and search for your local news station. That's AUDACY.
Miss any of the Dom Giordano program? Download and follow 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app.
All right, Dom Giordano Show. Welcome in. We're going to talk with Medal of Honor recipient Dakota Meyer for the annual Veterans Day. We have him on every year for Toyota. He's a representative of all kinds of things around veterans. Of course, his story, I reread it when he was a recipient of what he did in Afghanistan. It was just remarkable. But phone lines are 855-839-1210. Get in, hit us with that scene that you cannot be disturbed when it happens. Nancy in Bucks County is in on Talk Radio 1210. Hi, Nancy.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Good, Nancy.
So I design food packaging for a living. That's been my career.
Uh-oh, it's you. They're coming after big food packaging. Yes.
Well, you know, I've read the FDA, USDA reports, the NLEA tables on these packages, and my family we're locavores. So we only eat fresh food.
Okay.
We do not eat processed food. I learned this myself from reading the reports on the packaging I was designing. We're poisoning our population with fillers, cheap fillers. It's very easy to make food cheaply without putting all these preservatives and fillers in them.
And your argument is what? They're doing that to stretch the food, the actual food content?
Well, I think you were talking about it earlier. You know, we need more food. There are more people, and so people need to eat. Food safety and security, and that's part of it. But some of these companies, as you were previously discussing, the food that we are allowed to have in this country, same exact product in Canada or in the UK, they do not allow any of these preservatives and fillers.
And Nancy, I'm glad to hear you say that, because moron Stephen Colbert was telling his people that RFK Jr. is a liar and there are 18 or 19 things in the Fruit Loops in Canada. So, you know, we got to get this straight. That's why this is going to be a great debate. We have to get it exactly straight. Who's telling the truth here? I side with you. You're in the industry, and I side with RFK Jr. I think he's accurate. It's almost like TikTok, the Chinese version, the Canadian version of cereal versus what goes on here.
I absolutely agree. The other thing is sugar. We put sugar in everything. 100 years ago, we would have a little bit of sugar. You know, it would be on a special occasion for Christmas or special holidays. And now it's in everything. And sugar is also poisonous for the human body.
Thank you very much, Nancy. Dr. Marty made that point during COVID, and he just said it today, too. You heard him say that the white bread when you break it down, what happens, it functions as sugar. So it's more sugar. Even though you're saying I'm trying not to eat sugar, I'm not putting sugar in anything, coffee, tea, but it doesn't matter. It's ingrown to this. Now, this has to be carefully taken apart. What I'm telling you is I don't know that RFK Jr. is the guy to do that. I think it gets kind of wild here. You heard Dr. Marty. I'm telling you, I would tag in Dr. Marty to be the voice of this. RFK Jr. is the celebrity that gets us going. That's good. Can he handle this? And this is an exciting area, though, Make America Healthy Again for Trump. This may be one of those things that's the biggest legacy that happens out of all of this. From a guy who eats McDonald's. That is irony. Kathy in Sewell, New Jersey on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Kathy, afternoon.
Hi, Dom. I was just talking to your right hand, and the key to raising good, healthy children is moderation in everything and consistency. So I've raised 3 kids. They're adults now, and I've been through all stages their entire life. If you try to hold back something and tell them it's not good, that's what they're going to go for behind closed doors in the closet. That's where these closet eating, closet behaviors go. So you have to, as they grow, give them knowledge, let them know if you eat this kind of stuff, you're not going to feel good after a while, but you want to try it. Same thing goes for when your kids go away to college. If you send them away and never let them have a beer, and this happened to my kids, their friends would end up drunk, throwing up in the dorm room, bathroom floor, flunking out of school. So you have to make a point to give them the knowledge and guide them in decision-making on what's good and bad.
All right, let me give you the counter, though, Kathy. They would say, hey, the kid wants Fruit Loops because there's more sugar and dyes and all that in it.
I just want to say something, though. This angle, though, I feel is a really bad angle to take as conservatives when it comes to this. Because what we're doing here is we're essentially placing the blame on parents rather than on a overbearing medical industry and food industry that really needs to be looked at.
No.
And I don't like blaming the parents for their lack of parenting is essentially what you're saying.
No, I'm not saying that to Kathy. Kathy, I'm asking you,
what
though.
What are you saying, Don? What are you asking
I'm saying then, would you let them just eat Fruit Loops, one of the worst, I think, all the time?
No.
Okay.
What I would do is I would buy some snacks that aren't good, but look, you got to have something as a treat,
I'm in agreement.
I'm
in agreement. Right.
So I'll say you want Fruit Loops, that can be your snack after dinner.
Okay.
That could be your dessert.
Right.
It's moderation, Dom. It's like anything. If it's all McDonald's or all Fruit Loops, it's no good. But you can't completely deprive them of this stuff because then that's when they develop issues and complexes, and I'm not allowed
No,
to
Kathy, I'm in agreement with that.
School.
That's a very measured approach. What I'm saying is, though, parents have some power right now. They know this is being talked about. They have to act on that until the government, and it's going to take a couple of years, I guess, gets this under control.
So it's simple. It's good parenting. It's being in charge of your kitchen and your kids. Giving them choices.
But by saying that, you're saying that people are bad parents, and that's what's causing this issue.
No, I'm not. I'm
But
saying they have to
between the
defend it. They have an obligation. They can't throw their hands up just because of big food. They have to do something now. They can't let it continue. It's true. What's going on here is a problem. All right, coming up, we're going to talk to Dakota Meyer, who is the recipient of the Medal of Honor. Every year during Veterans Day, we bring him back to talk about this. Sometimes he comes to Philadelphia. Well, let's talk about meal planning. We're talking about food. Captain Chucky's, right? Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's parties, hosting your family, going to work and family events. Just stop into your nearest Captain Chucky's, pick up that Smith Island crab cake, jumbo lump, and don't forget the mega colossal crab cakes, both delicious. Perfect time, too, to get all of their offerings. They do have desserts, salads, tremendous variety of homemade sides, appetizers. Captain Chucky's, several choices, breaded, non-breaded crab cakes. There's a choice right there. I like the non-breaded, but the others are delicious, too. And that Gulf shrimp. Now, that is always a hit because it's wild-caught, never farm-raised. The delicious Don roll, they have trouble keeping them in stock. Make them make more each week. All this great stuff. One place to go for it. go to welovecrabcakes.com. Welovecrabcakes.com. Head it to the shore. Captain Chucky's at the shore.com.
Overnight low, 44, clear conditions. Tomorrow, 59 and sunny. Sunday, 62. It'll be relatively cloudy, and on Monday, 70 for the high. By Tuesday and for the rest of the week, temperatures are much more seasonable in the upper 50s.
Weather sponsored by Budget Blinds.
The holidays are coming. Budget Blinds is your one-stop shop for blinds, shades, shutters, custom drapery, and motorization. Visit budgetblinds.com for a free in-home consultation and the only no questions asked warranty in the business. Schedule your holiday consultation. Ask about their special radio offer.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
California Psychics is the real deal. They helped me out, totally changed my attitude, totally got me psyched to start my business and to take a new path in my life.
At California Psychics, we only connect our customers with the best. We reject 98% of the psychics who apply to us, so we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. New customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. So experience the joy of certainty at CaliforniaPsychics.com.
Is your kitchen or bathroom in need of a makeover?
It's time to transform your home into a personal oasis with Emmons Remodeling.
Our expert team specializes in kitchen and bathroom renovations, creating beautiful, functional spaces you and your family will love. We handle everything from design to installation.
So call us today at 856-885-6677 or visit callemmons.com. From top to bottom,
to inside and out,
at Emmons, we have you covered.
It's a great month to get a luxurious new Volvo from Cherry Hill Volvo. You'll be thankful because there's so many fabulous offers to take advantage of. Lease an all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. Costco members save even more, up to $2,000 in additional rebates. See store for details. Customers enjoy the stress-free and satisfactory experience Cherry Hill Volvo provides. Cherry Hill Volvo, where relationships really do matter.
Buy low, sell high. It's a cardinal rule of investing. With the market near record highs, you need a proven system that protects what you have earned without sacrificing opportunity for growth.
Jim O'Neill, Huntington Valley, Pennsylvania. With the stock market at record highs, I would recommend taking your money and put it into a crash-proof retirement system. This year, I have earned over 14%, and it can't be taken away.
Gail Schlosser, and I started with Crash-Proof Retirement in 2016. I'm getting great returns, up to 12 to 15%, and it's not going to dwindle away in the stock market.
Regina Kukulski, Langhorne. This year, I earned 10.5% interest. I feel really good looking at that because it's not money I lost.
Dolores Queen, Hatboro, Pennsylvania. We have outperformed the market this year, and when we earn 14%, it's ours to keep.
Schedule an appointment or register for our next event at Springfield Country Club, November 20th, 800-722-9728 or crashproofretirement.com.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about your thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow.
You may have heard, Wawa has pizza. And right now, Wawa has pizza at a really great price.
Wawa has personal pizza for a night of gaming.
And it's only $6.
Wawa has pizza for when we don't want to cook.
And a 14-inch is $8.
Wawa has pizza for after practice.
A 16-inch to feed the team, $10. Right now, get a personal 14 or 16-inch Wawa pizza for just $6, $8, or $10. Wawa has pizza for all at a really great price.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, live from the Cherry Hill Volvo Studios, where relationships matter.
All right, Tom Giordano Show. Welcome in, everyone. Momentarily, we hope to speak with Sergeant Dakota Meyer, Sergeant U.S. Marine Corps Medal of Honor recipient, and he will be the Salute to Service honorary captain during the Eagles game on 11/14. So that will be the big game coming up against Washington this coming week. And annually, we have him on He partners with veterans to help support Veterans Day and Toyota's Military Appreciation Campaign. He is also somebody that is involved with, Toyota is with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Foundation's Hiring Our Heroes. For years, we've talked about that. Sometimes with the Mannion Foundation, sometimes with people like Dakota. How can you go wrong when you have people that woke up every day with a mission, having them in the workplace? So we hope to speak with them today, or maybe we can catch up on Veterans Day since he's coming on the 14th, Veterans Day around the corner. I've interviewed, I think, 5, including him, 6 maybe, over the years. And these are people that he's pretty prominent that we know him, but any number of them we don't. And their stories and what they did are beyond remarkable. But they sometimes don't speak about, it's a hard thing as we head toward a big Veterans Day this year. All right, 855-839-1210 is how you get in. You heard Dr. Marty and his approach to this, and I could tell he's charged up. Keep America healthy. So far, the top legacy of the Trump years, who knows what happens the next 4, is going to be staying out of these unending wars. I don't care what anyone says. For the Republican Party, he's remade that in a way that, come on, we never would have thought that. It was interventionist before, the Bushes, the Cheneys. You know what I'm talking about. Then the Supreme Court picks and Roe v. Wade. But I would say this initiative, if they can get away from the speed bumps of the media, of examining this stuff and moving forward, keep America healthy, could be groundbreaking, particularly for kids. There is no doubt. It's just that Kennedy at times, given that he's involved in so many different things, the media is going to go after. Dr. Marty is much tougher when we talk with him about it. You heard what he said about sugar today. I hope you enjoyed that in his book, Blind Spots, you should check out. All right, let's go to Susan in Chester Springs. Susan, you're on Talk Radio 1210.
I do love your show, but you've got my quote-unquote knickers in a knot.
Okay, go ahead.
I think that to not put RFK in a prominent position, FDA or some other
nobody's saying not to do that. I'm just giving you some of the things here that I think are going to be problematic potentially.
Well, that's true, but they have to be really careful because a lot of us voted for Trump, not only on Trump's positions, but on some of the people who endorsed him, and we would feel like it was a betrayal.
Okay.
And the other thing I wanted to tell you is my grandfather won 2 Congressional Medals of Honor. He was a Marine Corps Major General, and he wrote a book in 1935 called War is a Racket. And as a result of his political stance, he was also involved in turning over generals who wanted to depose Roosevelt. They did 2 movies about him.
What's the name of the last name?
Smedley Darlington Butler.
Okay.
And he was a major general, and he was a reprobate. He was the fighting Quaker. But yeah, his mother.
But Susan, back to the original thing. What I was saying about parents, we know this stuff. I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
Do parents not have a role though until relief is on the way? Which the battle that's going to be here is going to take a while to try to dissuade their kids from the more harmful things. Let's say.
Well, it's parents and schools because we have no soda in the house. We limit sweets. We have nothing with those funny-looking colors because it's all. I mean, if your kid comes out with a blue mouth, you better beware what they're eating. But then they go into the schools, and the schools have this crap there. So I mean, it's hard for parents. It's hard for parents.
Nobody. That's the whole theme of my education show. Parental rights. How they need help. But in the meantime, they got to curtail some of this. And I just want Kennedy, too, to talk about the role of exercise here, because he is a huge person involved with that.
Well, his uncle started all that physical fitness stuff.
The Nation's Council on Physical Fitness, without a doubt. Thank you, Susan. Is that Dakota Meyer?
That's him.
Okay, let's bring in here Dakota Meyer with us here on Talk Radio 1210. Hey, Sergeant, welcome back to Philadelphia. Thank you for joining us today.
Glad to.
Well, I went back and reread your story, and I'm sure you're told this any number of times. It is remarkable beyond belief. And your afterlife after the military is even more so. And it's been a number of years that you've been involved. So you're going to be the honorary captain again at the Eagles game. You probably know this could be a huge Eagles game, given the way they're playing and the way Washington is playing. What are your thoughts as you're coming back to Philadelphia, and particularly Veterans Day?
Look, it's always an honor to be able to come back and spend time with not only in Philadelphia, but at the Eagles game, especially whenever it comes to our veterans. I don't know anybody that loves their veterans and loves this country more than that place. So being able to come up there and represent Hiring Our Heroes and talk about our program with Hiring Our Heroes and Toyota, and being able to do that alongside the Salute to Service, it's always truly an honor.
Hiring Our Heroes program is the program, and Toyota is all out. They have a big partnership with the Eagles. Do you feel that veterans now, we've talked about this, you and I have talked, but I've talked about this at various events for the last 20 years. Do you feel we're on an upswing, that people are getting exactly what the title is? These are heroes. These are people, given how few people commit to service that are doing that, they should be considered top of the line.
Yeah, look, I think when we first started this, so absolutely, I think we're getting. I think we can always do better. I think it's in the best interest of not only the men and women who have served this country, but it's in the best interest of our country, and it's in the best interest of our communities to be able to transition and provide these incredible human beings opportunities back amongst our back in the civilian world. A lot of times we look at the veteran title as a title that's something that's earned after you get out, but really it's just the second phase of your commitment back to this country. And when you look at this talent pool that's coming from the military, they're the greatest that the generation has to offer. These are people who not only had, who believed in an idea bigger than themselves, they had the courage to go act on it, to join it, and to sacrifice the opportunities that they could have outside for the greater good of the nation and the globe. And so, when you look at this talent pool of these incredible, not only service members, but their military spouses and their families, these are people that corporate America is looking for. And, we're starting, we've been seeing that, and the results of this back in the companies that have bought in on this and that have came and figured out this talent pool and how to do it. So with Hiring Our Heroes, we help transition service members out and help them find meaningful employment.
Well, I would add one other thing, too. My observation, we work with the Mannion Foundation, and also we hear from you every year. The modern military, too, there are a lot more technical skills of all sorts that are involved, maybe than prior. So it's not just the military pedigree. People are actually coming up with a skill that is under intense pressure. It could be combat even, and taking that to the everyday world. These are people that can thrive in that.
Well, look, I think that I think that the military has always had the skills to be able to perform any job, especially in the civilian world. It's just we've not done a great job at being able to translate that over to what corporate America understands. And I'll give you an example is, when I got out as a sniper, you wouldn't think there's very many job openings for snipers.
Let's hope not. Yeah.
Right. But when you look at what it took, the skills that I had that made me a successful sniper, you talk logistics.
Yeah.
If I can go resupply myself on the side of a mountain in Afghanistan in a combat zone with, under secretive, trying to keep people from getting killed, all these other things, these are skills that I promise I can figure out logistics for your company over here, right? When you take that I had to go sell myself at 20 years old to a battalion commander, that I had to convince him that I was able to leave the wire successfully, safely, and be able to go execute a mission that he needed me to do in the middle of nowhere that could cost lives. I think I can go sell your product to people, right? And, these are the skills that what we've done a great job at with Toyota and Hiring Our Heroes with the resume engine to be able to translate what made us successful in the military over into the same words. It's the same thing. It's just a different way to articulate it and communicate it over to corporate America so that they understand how to utilize this talent pool.
What you said just there is something we ought to put into. I don't know if you have that in promos or whatever about what you just said in your service, having to do that. That's exactly right. It's always an honor to talk with you every year. Enjoy the Eagles game, hiring our heroes. Thank you immensely for your service, Dakota Meyer.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, Sergeant Dakota Meyer here on Talk Radio 1210. And what he said there about, I think that could translate to selling your product here is something that is remarkable. All right, it is the lightning round next, and we want to get a winner for the week. All that you have to do is jump on board, do a little bit of that scene. Tell us that scene you can't be disturbed from when watching it. Every Friday night, FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge Casino, is giving all customers a bigger payout on select NBA first bets. First bets lets you get in on the action from the opening tip. You can bet on things like who'll score the first basket, which team will be the first to 15 points, and so much more. And best of all, you don't have to wait the whole game to see if you won. Just look for Friday First in the FanDuel app to find your profit boost. Visit FanDuel.com/Dom to claim that Friday First profit boost. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sportsbook partner of the NBA. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official partner of 1210 WPHT. At the 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania. Opt-in required. Max wager amount applies. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including token expiration. See terms for both offers at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, 1-800-GAMBLER.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Of course, we all need to save a little cash these days. Saving money on your utility bills is a great start. Sign up for the CNC Heating and Air Conditioning Maintenance Plan. Minimize the wear and tear of your system and lower your energy bills this winter. If your HVAC needs replacing, CNC makes budgeting for your new system a snap with 0% financing options. Schedule an estimate today with CNC Heating and Air Conditioning, your local York certified comfort experts. Start saving today. Visit cc-hvac.com.
Wawa's Hot Turkey is back, and it's bringing the comforting flavors of the season with it. Sink into savory stuffing, cozy up with sweet cranberry sauce, and relax into some warm, buttery mashed potatoes. Grab your pillows and blankets, because Hot Turkey is back. Plus, get your cozy cravings satisfied from the comfort of your bed with $0 delivery when you order on the Wawa app. Try the Wawa Gobbler today in a hoagie or bowl for a limited time. Gotta have a Wawa.
Do you have shoeboxes full of old videotapes and photos with memories you'd love to share with the family this Christmas? Right now, get exclusive early access to Legacy Box's biggest deal of the year. Digitize your memories for just $9 per tape. That's right, only $9 to preserve and share your precious moments. VHS, VHS-C, Hi-8, film reels, and more, saving you over $15 per item. Not to mention, when you digitize your memories now, Legacy Box sends all your memories back on the cloud, so they're easy to access by Christmas, and you can relive them with your family just in time for the holidays. You've heard about Legacy Box all year, but now is the best time to digitize your memories. Hurry, this $9 deal won't last long. Head to legacybox.com/value for early access to our best deal of the year. Don't wait. Secure your digitized memories by Christmas at legacybox.com/value.
Hey, Percy, we know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Remember to take us anywhere with the free Odyssey app.
The time has come for the final test.
We usually call it the lightning round.
That's right. Tom's Lightning Round is sponsored by Cherry Hill Volvo. Right now, lease an all-new all-wheel drive XC90 for as low as $687 per month using all applicable rebates. See the store for details. They always go the extra mile for their customers because relationships matter at Cherry Hill Volvo. Let's go to Richard in Hatboro. Talk Radio 1210. Give us that scene. Richard, what's your scene?
My scene is from The Verdict. Do you remember that movie, Dom?
Absolutely.
And I like to catch all these obscure, non-star scenes where the client of Paul Newman finds out he turned down the offer, and he says, you guys are all the same. I have thought about politicians ever since 1982. You guys are all the same. The doctors, the lawyers. It's always what I'm going to do for you. And then you screw up, and I'm dreadfully sorry. We did the best that we could. And people like us live with your mistakes for the rest of our lives.
Well put. That's exactly right. Yeah. Newman's great in that, by the way. All right, Donna in Maryland. What's that scene? You can't be disturbed, Donna.
There's a scene in Jaws when the girl is swimming. My father is Marine Colonel, and he loved Trump tough. But when we were in Hawaii, a station in Hawaii, is when this movie came out, and then, the music is dun, 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 dun. And that is when you live in Hawaii, and it came out, you were afraid to go in the water. It was awesome. It was scary.
That summer, it's hard to believe. People would not. Very good. Phil in Roxborough. What's yours, Phil?
Okay, mine's from Josie Wales, and I'm going to do it for you.
Absolutely. Fire away.
I have whiskey for everyone around, Comanchero brand. And then he looks out the window, and there's two bounty hunters, and one bounty hunter starts walking across the street, and the dog growls, and he comes in and says, I'm looking for Josie Wales. You a bounty hunter? Man's got to do something these days to make a living. Dying ain't much of a living, boy. This isn't necessary. You can just ride on. And he walks out the door. After he stares at him, he comes back, and he says, I had to come back. And he says, I know. And he just blows him away. That's it. Bang.
Very nice. Very nice,
I didn't even see the movie, but now I don't feel like I need to. I feel like
that was great stuff.
It's a great reenactment we heard there.
Henry, who do you like out of that scene?
I think the crown jewel was right there.
I think Phil was, too.
He was, too.
Yeah, Phil, in the end, that was great stuff. That's what we love. Put him into the hat. He's in the bar.
So, Dom, Monday we asked for Who's Irrelevant? We asked for... We asked for hype songs on Monday. Joe in Columbus called in with Enter Sandman by Metallica. Tuesday, we asked for all-time debates settled by a Dom Giordano poll. Stephen Haddon Township called in Bannister versus Landy.
That was nuts, yeah.
Wednesday, all-time comeback. Joe in Exton said nuking Japan after Pearl Harbor. Gosh, yes. Joe. Thursday, Who's Irrelevant? This is after Kamala Harris was cooked. Joe in Bordentown said Menudo. Ricky Martin's former band when he was a kid is now cooked.
Yes.
And you just heard Outlaw Josie Wales as your answer of a movie scene that you got to watch once you start it. And Dom, let's throw it into the hat, get some drum rolls going. Two all-time debate settled by a Dom Giordano poll. Stephen Haddon Township, Bannister versus Landy. I don't even remember what that was, Dom. Bannister.
That's the 4-minute mile where guys like Henry are trying to take away from the legend of Dr. Roger Bannister. All the stuff we heard, I couldn't believe it. It was like reversing history. I just fixate on it. No way. Next, they're going to be saying Wilt didn't score 100 points.
No?
Henry, do you know that he scored 100 points, right?
I'm aware. There's just, no evidence besides him holding up
a
scorebook with 100 on
Nothing.
it.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
just
a
wait
paper with Sharpie on it.
Yeah, Wilt could have scored 200. But
I'm going to hold up a sign with a 200 and say 200 guests on one day. Nobody will ever question it for the rest of the time.
All right, everyone, have a great weekend. Rich is next, and Monday, Veterans Day, will be here to honor veterans. Dakota Meyer today, but maybe Alan West or Scott Rutter will be here, I think, on Veterans Day. Follow on Twitter until then. I'll be on Newsmax at 6:30 this Saturday. Will I have that bookcase behind me, or am I going to reshuffle in the Dom Dome something else? Might be a new set there, so to speak. Rich Cioli next. Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Cancer, a scary word, but not so scary if you have the right team. Hi, this is John DeMasi, host of Health Watch, Sundays at 8 and again at 4 here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. And that